to wait for 30 seconds so we don't curse. What's up, guys? A Toy Kind of Mood, episode 154. Star Wars, GIJoe. It's a lot of stuff. We have two big-time guests, but before we bring those guys in, I'll go around the room, talk to the Toy Kind of Moodians. Of course, I'm Travis Moody, and to my this side, Bobby. What's up, dude?
What's up? What's going on? How are we? How are we doing out there?
Wonderful. This is the best time of the week. It's what I look forward to every single week. And we got some peeps that got a mute day phone.
Yeah, my phone.
I don't know who that is, but what's up, KJ? How we doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling the force.
Right.
I'm ready.
Right. Well, everyone's all geared up Star Wars, but there's a lot of GIJoe tonight, so have fun with that. But before we get into all that, of course, it's can they coexist? You know, can they share the same galaxy? There's different meanings, different layers to that. But let's bring in our guests. These guys are Jedis who love Joe, so it's going to be a perfect situation here. Let's bring on Mike Kaess. He's been on the show many times. What's up, dude?
I'm here again. That's your mistake. What's up,
you
guys?
Told me, I think you told me today that it was a year ago that you made the debut on A Toy Kind of Mood. That's
my Facebook memory popped up and was like, "Hey, remember this a year ago?" And I was like, "No, but I guess."
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I'm flattered that you consider this, seeing the two shows you just did and who you did them with, and to hang out with us. That's cool. That's good company to be in, Mike.
Everyone's cool. Everyone. I don't hate. You know what's weird though, and this is a recent thing for me, but this week I've been asked to be on like 3 different shows. And I had to tell some of them, like, no, I just don't want to be on that many shows. But I'm on this one, and then I was on Toy Galaxy, Secret Galaxy, and then Friday night I'll be on Victoria's Cantina talking. People want to know my opinion on Star Wars, and that's just weird. Like I
brought you on. I brought
to
you
get my opinion on Joe,
Joe,
and that's one of the reasons I'm here.
Yeah. As a Star Wars guy, I want your opinion on Joe. Remember, you did a GIJoe show with me with
I did.
Kyle and MCU Collector. That was a lot of fun. But
that was a lot of fun. And then I met MCU Collector again. We were at Designer Con a couple last month. That was a lot of fun running into him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I know Fabio was asking, and I was, oh, no, I'm good. And now that I know everyone who's gone, I hate myself every day for not going.
It was fun. It was, but it's like the last one because it's moving to Vegas after last year. So.
Oh, well, maybe I'll go to Vegas. But
there you go to Vegas.
We talk more into Joes and Jedis and all that Sith Cobra action. Let's get into the Sith Lord Grogu.
Bring on the cooler guy.
Chaz
Bring him in.
Guru.
Hello, party people. What's up?
This is weird.
Thanks for joining us again. Yeah, he's an anonymous one. I think KJ is going to copy.
Yeah, I turned off my camera out of respect to
you know
Chaz.
What? In solidarity, thanks, dude.
In solidarity,
that's a good idea. There we go. Now it's me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I'm not doing that. I got a host.
No, I'm too vain to not be on camera.
Same.
Likewise. So just to kind of give everyone a preview of what we're doing today, we're going to talk a little bit of the news. Lemily, there was an interview with Emily and Lenny from GIJoe Classified. There were some bits there. We saw some new pictures today of the Action Navy Recon, whatever the hell it is. The Recon Diver. Yeah, that thing. So we're going to look at pictures of that. Go over Cobra Commander #1 because the most sci-fi thing GIJoe's done in forever. So that makes sense. Lucasfilm, Indiana Jones video game, anybody? So we'll do that. Talk about some new trailers we saw for Star Wars stuff coming up. Go over the fan stream pretty quickly. You guys all know kind of the deal there. And then we'll bring it on to our main subject, kind of, mashing up those worlds in more ways than one. So before that, though, let's get into the news, man. Let's get right into the Joe news, the classified news. But actually, no. How can I forget, Bobby?
Just kidding.
We hit 2K, man, and we couldn't do it without the people. We couldn't do it without the people.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you, Bobby, AJ, Tony. Specs on set right now. Tony will be joining us on Saturday. We'll talk about that later on. But 2K, man, it felt good. It was a little bit of a ride to get there, but real happy we did, Bobby.
It's been 3 years, going towards this, and I feel we really hit our stride last year. I want to say like 2023 was a good year for us, but
yeah. What do you think, KJ?
I'm just really proud. I got love for you guys, man. Like, I always think back to that toy hunt back in Cobra Island and the sheer chaos of 2020 leading to this show, and like shout out to Ronnie Doom 58, shout out to Fobster 360, shout out to Vlad the Sleepless Gamer, and everybody that showed us love, showed us support, and still showing up on these podcasts, like our illustrious guests Mike Kaess and God Chaz The Guru. So thank you all, and everybody watching and still rocking with us. Thank you all as well. It's been fantastic, and we're still up in this piece. It's great.
Yep. Saying what's up to some peeps right now. I got Shark Eyes, bunch of, we love it. Every week we see you guys, we talk to you guys. You guys bring amazing comments and questions, keeps us going, keeps the energy up. And the collaborations, like Mike, what is this, like 4 times?
3 or 4 times? I can't.
3 or 4 times. Yeah,
it's 4. It's 4 because I've this is number 4 because I've done 3 shows with Mike.
And let me just say, I'm blown away because, Mike, I've been watching you for years. I still can't believe like I'm on the same show as you. It still is an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege, man.
Man, I put my pants on 3 legs at a time, just like everybody else.
and shout out to Chaz, man. You won't show your
I'm
face.
excited to talk to Chaz.
But yeah, Chaz.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah, no, I was gonna say he doesn't show his face, but he shows up in the chat every single time. He's the king of toy memes. He's an influencer. He's always hitting it up. He's always supporting the entire community. That's the most important part. So Chaz,
like
thanks
3
so much,
times
man.
a day. 3 times a day, I'll be scrolling Instagram and I'll shake my hand and go, Chaz. Oh, Chaz. Oh, like, Chaz.
I'm collecting 375 again because of Chaz. You did this, man. Fight for TVZ. Save TVZ, man.
That's right. I think it's Save Black Series now, man. After that stream.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of perfect timing to put a show like this together before the stream, and then all of a sudden it just kind of worked out that way. So we'll get into that for sure. Does Black Series need saving? We'll talk about that. I got to shout out Marauder Rubin because he just told me today that he's going to be on the return of the Terradrome this Saturday. Our last Terradrome was with Gridiron Studios last month around Gridmas, and now we got a best of, and we'll shout that out at the end of the show, but best of GIJoe classified customs and customizers. It's going to be a hot to death show. I can't wait. Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going early so Ray Murphy from Ireland can join us because he can never do the show during the week. It's like 8-hour difference. So
it's 8 hours ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 hours ahead. So real excited to hang out with Tony, Ray, and Ruben on Saturday. We got some other people. Yeah, GIJoe rules, of course. So what else we got next? All right, there was that interview that Dan Hu, longtime reviewer over in the UK, right? It's where he is. And he was able to interview Emily and Lenny, just like we did. But yeah, special shout out to Dan Hu, and special shout out to Chaz filling us in on the info, and shout out to Shark, GI Shark. He just started a stream today. It was his birthday. Happy birthday, GI Shark.
Oh, happy birthday.
Birthday.
Yeah. And Chaz has been helping us out, kind of spread. He did a bunch of reels on Chaz The Guru on Instagram with the Dan Hu, kind of the points, the main points of this interview. So I'd like to go over kind of what we got. Just kind of, I got some slides. We'll just say, is more surprises than 24. Of course, we knew nothing is off limits. They were showing monsters and stuff. So we got that, of course. We kind of know a lot of this, but there is some info to be had. Maybe guys, they're more surprises than 24. The most figures in the pipeline set to release this year. But not, they said everything in the pipeline for this year is going to come out. except for maybe the last one, which was Leatherneck. I believe I got that. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we got that. All right. Yeah, we got these. These 4 may not drop in 2024.
Hold on,
Chaz,
hold
we'll
on,
go
hold
with
on,
you, man.
hold on,
Oh,
hold
yeah,
on.
go ahead.
They
Go ahead.
they
Sorry, Mike.
wouldn't show us figures and not have them come out for a whole year. Who would do that? Star Wars wouldn't do that.
No,
No.
they would never. No,
Hey,
they
when
would
they
never.
said spring 2025 for the
Thrawn.
Thrawn, I was like, what? 20? You didn't even have much to show, and then one of them is coming out in spring 2025. Man, that is not good. That's
Sorry, I
not
didn't mean to
good.
derail it. I just was like why show it? Why show us anything if it's not going to come out? You know.
Let's save the hate for a little bit. Let's
Yeah.
start
All
off
right.
on a
All right. I'll
joyful
tone it.
moment.
I'll tone it. I don't actually have any hate. I just think it's funny.
I'm locked and loaded.
Yeah.
I can feel your anger. It gives you power.
Oh my God. He's such a Star Wars apologist. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. We got the hot mic case tonight on this show. But yeah, look, Leatherneck, Nemesis Immortal, Xandar, and Starduster may not come out this year, but the rest will. And I'm not sure, Chaz, how many figures is that's set to launch this year? Do you know?
Oh man, I didn't even count. Sorry.
Oh man.
Because
I don't have that many fingers, so I can't count
waves.
that high.
I think there were 3 waves of 4. That's counting the ones that are coming out in April. That's the regular one, so that's 12 plus 9 of the retro that are supposed to come out. But then we have all the a bunch of exclusives that we don't even know about. So
yeah,
so what's that? 9, 12, 21. That's 21 so far from those, and then a bunch of those weren't even matched up with the code word. So we have a bunch of name only ones. So I would say probably 40 that we probably know of so far, exclusives.
I'm still waiting for my big boa. I need my big boa so bad. I mean, come on, guys, give me my big boa.
That's just scratching the surface, basically. Yeah. So there's a lot, and I think the Joe team's playing it smart, because the reason why you reveal something like Thrawn from the Ahsoka show is just planting that seed, letting people know that it's coming. It's right. Coming. I mean, Joe's they did the same thing, but they just give you some of it, right? Yeah. They let you know about some of the figures that are coming out, and then we'll get reveals.
They just put the tip in, right? They're just putting the tip.
Just the tip.
Exactly.
Just the tip.
My God, you guys are nuts. I guess the other thing was is going to be more vehicles than the Vamp, so not just the HasLab. I mean, we knew this stuff, but we also talked about that. Like, I don't want to go through all the we don't have time to go through all the vehicles and all that. We did that forever. We did that with Chris. We did that with Shark. And then I guess they're still trying to figure out ideas about play sets, price points, and sizes. But the most interesting thing, hold on, let's address this. I think that whole Cobra Lao will come out this year because of Cobra Commander issue 1. Okay, well, we're going to talk about Cobra Commander issue 1, and we'll talk about Cobra Lao then. But actually, Lenny hinted, and this is mostly due to Chaz, beautiful clickbait, by the way, I love it. Lenny hinted at a possible sci-fi addition to the world GIJoe, which maybe Chaz rumored, or maybe it was in the interview, as the masked device and the brainwave scanner. So, Mike, how you feeling about these 2 additions? Are these possible?
I mean, they're definitely possible, and I definitely would love it. But I'd love a weather dominator more than either of those, because one of the things I had as a kid was that miniseries on tape, and I watched it all the time. Like, I watched those 5 episodes or whatever more than anything else. GIJoe growing up, that thing basically raised me. So Weather Dominator would be my pick if I got to choose, but a mass device is fine.
I got you, Chaz.
Yeah, he didn't say anything specific. I just was thinking what sci-fi stuff could he be hinting at, because that was the only thing when he was mentioning all that stuff about world building. Sure. And he said, scientific, but he goes, I don't want to, give anything away.
I mean, Lenny's handle is Weather Dominator, isn't it?
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Yeah. I mean, any of those, man, would be awesome.
Yeah, and Bobby, that's kind of the whole theme of what we're doing tonight. It's like GIJoe in sci-fi world, like how sci-fi can Joe get without? Do you think there's a limit to their sci-fi-ism? Can they
Is
go in
there
the direction of
no?
Star Wars?
No, there is no limit. There is no limit to what I think that when you look at what GIJoe is doing with what Lenny and Tony and company are doing, there is literally no limit because they will make it as grounded in reality as possible, and we'll be going, oh, well, I'm getting that. All right. It's just how it is. Like you have this is especially now with the Energon universe, with Void Rivals, with Cobra Commander, with Duke, with Transformers. I mean, the whole point of like GIJoe and the Duke. It's okay, sweetie. My wife is making a sandwich in the behind the camera, so if you hear the crinkling, that's her. But you look at the whole point of like Duke, the comic book, and I think this is where like Hasbro can lean into this. Duke's gone off the rails because Starscream crashed his jet and killed his best friend by squishing him. So
Duke basically became a conspiracy theorist, and I love it.
He did. It's great. But the fact that oh shit, who talked about Cobra Law just a second ago? I'm blanking on it right now.
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
You look at not the fact that Cobra Law is stupid. DJ McFly said that they could lean into Cobra Law, like reading Cobra Commander, and we'll get into that in a second. Like Trav said, I was really blown away the fact that Williamson went that direction. So Hasbro has GIJoe and company have this like ginormous universe to play with, and it will all be grounded and it will all look amazing.
Yeah. Actually, that brings me to a point. We'll go over the recon diver in a second, but do you think maybe Lenny was like, we better go hardcore military because we're going to start going the opposite way, so we got to please everyone? What are you thinking, KJ?
I'm thinking that there's no wrong way to Joe. Like I got so Joe crazy. Like I've been getting my hands on like GIJoe Extreme figs. I've been getting my hands on Sigma 6 stuff, just going way back, right? You can do Commando, you can do Jungle Fighters, you can do, the tribute military figures, or you can just go nuts, right? And I also want to say that, these are still toys. These are still connecting to the core.
No, these are serious.
I mean, if people want to get serious, they can go to Transformers Masterpiece. They can go track down Sideshow Collectibles, right? That's serious. But the point is that GIJoe and Transformers, they share a lot of DNA together. You go back to the shows; they used a lot of the same voice actors. They used a lot of the same backgrounds. Like literally,
Cobra Commander was in an episode of Transformers. It was old Snake or whatever, but he was there.
Yeah,
Marissa Fairborn was Flint's daughter in Transformers. Absolutely.
So you can tie in a lot of the lores and the mythology, and it's really cool that the Energon universe is doing that from jump. At first, I was like, "How are they going to do this?" It turns out they're just doing it.
They're just doing it.
They're just doing it. Yeah. So it's going to be an exciting time. And I think with the sci-fi stuff, Joes have already been sci-fi. We don't have jump jets, not yet. We don't have Skyhawks and gyrocopters and shit. Like, relax. Like it's pulp adventure.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you want Black Hawk Down, there's crazy figure, there's cool model. There's World War II figs out there. There are Vietnam Rangers and all that stuff out there. I'm pretty sure Ray Murphy will touch on that stuff too. Like with the long range recon patrol that him and Tony's figs have been doing. You can go all sorts of directions. It's just one big playground and it's one big sandbox. So let's all have fun together. It's going to be dope.
Yeah, KJ, also real quick, and you kind of touched on this, but the GIJoe team can easily, like, look at Marvel Legends, look at Star Wars. You have like different, teams, different universes. Like you've got 20th Cap, you've got, Hydra Cap. You can have a World War II, Duke if you wanted to, Vietnam Duke. You could do you can do tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they could. I think you can have a subsection of like Real American Hero, like the Larry Hama, like it's real, and you've got the conspiracy theorist Duke who's trying to figure out why these robots are trying to kill everyone.
Yeah, well, they already have sci-fi incorporated into the Real American as well because of the new villains that we have. So,
I love it. Dude,
what was that?
Can I just say real quick that I love the fact that Larry Hama went that direction. He's like, you're gonna get the Real American Hero back. Cool. Can I do zombies? Whatever you want, Larry. Have fun with it.
Yeah,
cool. All right. Zombies. All right.
No, it's a fun book, and go check out. Was it Chris? Am I saying that right? Money Moon. What's the artist? Chris Moneymoon, something like that. But anyway, the art. We don't have Diana Davis here in the chat to help us. But look, the art on the Real American Hero is outstanding in Skybound. But we're going to talk about that in one sec. Let's clean up this interview with Dan Hu. We've got the carded figures, as we know. I believe Chaz also made a post on this. We got 9 retro carded figures for 24. Of course, with these, we already we pre-ordered these, right? So we got these in. And then the next 3 that are in the pipeline: Snow Serpent, Cobra Eel, and Beachhead. So that's the 3. And then they did confirm 9. And then we got Cobra Commander. Now, Roadblock and Viper are my personal guesses because I look at, all right, what do they spend? I kind of look at what are they spending money on? Roadblock's an easy one. Viper's an easy one. I just don't think I see the lists that people make, and I'm like, they're not going to create all new molds for retro carding in one wave. They'll mix things up. So, and I think this would be a strong wave. You got a builder, you got a big time GIJoe icon coming carded, first time carded in the classified line. And then obviously people can get Cobra Commander without the Mickey Mouse. Mike, how you feeling about the retro carded line, and what are your 2 guesses for the missing 2?
Ooh, that's a good question. I honestly have zero idea. I think it would be cool if they gave us more of a retro Major Blood, but I think a Viper is a really good guess. I love the retro line, but mostly just because, I'm a 41-year-old man. I don't like it when things are different. And when they started GIJoe and it was kind of that sci-fi, like kind of modernized versions, like you could tell it's Duke, but it's different. And now they're coming out with the Duke that I wanted the whole time. So I'm very excited to get that. I've got my his tank right back there. So I've got my Cobra Commander open, but I'm definitely going to get this other Cobra Commander as well, so I can have one for my regular Cobra shelf and then one with my his tank. So the only one I'm not getting is Leatherneck, or not Leatherneck.
Recondo.
I'm blanking. Recondo, thank you. Because I got the Tiger Force one. I just don't need two.
Same.
Two Recondos. He's not a major character for me to want multiples of him.
Right. Now, Liquid Identity says, hoping for Blood. Blood's a great choice, but I also think the classified Blood is a little different than the retro, and that would require some differences. KJ, are you with me there? Or how you feeling about the extra 2 going along with Cobra Commander? Because I think, like, with Cobra Eel and Snow Serpent, it seems like the Trooper thing is smart carded, because people are going to go 3 up more because they want to keep one fresh. And it's an army builder. It's the same price, so
yeah. Especially with putting builders on, like we had the Crimson Guard before.
Yeah,
just even that one tempo change with the brighter mask. If you just wanted like a field commander, so they could do something if they really wanted to. They could retool the Viper to just make it a giant version of the old 375. I don't think that'll be the case. We got the 3-pack Vipers, and they could bring back the Cobra Island brightness, the colorway on the retro card, because a lot of people still didn't get that. We just sort of have the toned down Vipers in that 3-pack. Or if you want to get the Viper Officer, if they want to do a colorway that hasn't been done yet and put that on retro card, there's a lot that you can do with those troop builders and everything else.
Do you think the retro Eel is going to have the toy accurate tank?
I think so. We saw a little bit of the extra gear with the recon diver. So it'll be interesting if it stays at that same $24.99 price point that's currently at Walmart. I think some Walmarts have it for like $26.88 or something like that. So maybe they would be taking a loss in order to maintain that fidelity to the original figure. But I think that's what they want to do. They love this stuff. And so even if it was packed with gear at the 375 scale, it may be worth it to say, let's just go ahead and give them a value. You know, some of those figures before we started getting like Snow Job and Metalhead and Snow Serpent, they managed to pack in a lot at the price point at the time, which was $19.99, now $24.99. So I think if they want to pick and choose, some that can go light, you give Roblox a Modus in a tripod, and you're there, right? But with other figures like the Eel, like different Vipers or whatever, you may have to say, fine, this would have been a deluxe price point, but let's not disturb that with a $35 retro card figure. Let's just give them what they want. And that's so far the Joe team has really been good at that.
Gotcha. We're gonna go to Chaz on this, and then we'll move on because we get a lot of subjects, and then there's a lot of people that made guesses, so I'll go to them. But Chaz, you're the one who makes these posts. So what do you think about who's gonna join Cobra Commander? If you would have any guess as to who those two mystery retro carded figs is gonna be.
I think your Roadblock is a pretty good guess. The Viper, though, I think the Viper we have is pretty close. I think they would have to do something different.
Well, see the sleeve.
On the code, right?
The sleeve stands out to me.
I'd want a 2.0 Viper. I'm sorry. That Viper is terrible. It's just a bad figure. And if there's someone out there that loves it, it's a bad. The articulation is terrible. It can't hold its guns with crap. It's a terrible toy.
That was one of my favorite figures as a kid, man. So
sure, I'm not saying the original's bad. I'm talking about the classified version.
I thought we were talking about the retro carded from back in the 80s, man.
No. I'm talking about if they did a new version of. I'd want them to do it so they fix the problems with the original Viper, because the original Viper's terrible. The original Viper's great. The Cobra Island Viper and the one they've reused a bunch now is terrible.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Okay, so in terms of the other
hot mic tonight.
In terms of the other retro, I'm thinking maybe Major Blood, and I think because we haven't had a Cobra Trooper for a while.
Yeah.
And those seem to be going up in price now, so I think
I'd love a more
old school one with the cloth mask.
I'd love a more cartoon accurate Cobra Trooper for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, like the old O-ring had, the cloth mask like the officer does, right? So I'm thinking they're gonna do that. That's probably one. That's probably one I think. Yeah. And Major Blood, I think those two, because they're just obviously got to do ones that they already have most of the sculpt. I think it's gonna change something simple, like either the secondary or the head or the weapons or something like that. And the Eel, I think they're going to give him like the old school jetpack, right? The underwater jetpack and the
one that Mark II design made, right? Yeah.
And the harpoon gun. I think that's what the differences are going to be on that one.
Gotcha. Okay, great. All right, so some peeps have chimed in on this. So let's see what we got here so we can fly through. Some of these are comics. We'll get to that in a sec. Oh, here's one. Who makes good protective cases for a retro card? So I would think 1/12 scale. Anybody on the team? No? Usually KJ is good at that.
No idea.
Wait, the 3.75 ones?
No, I think he means a retro. Well, we're talking about retro card classified. Yeah.
Oh, for classified. There's I posted on one of my posts, I think it was last week or the week before, on my Instagram. I did a link to it's in my my bio. It's a place called Katana Collectibles, and they make cases for everything. And they're actually close to me. They're in Irvine, so I've been going over there, and I brought my Hiss tank over there. I brought my Jabba's or Boba Fett throne room. They measure it up. They made them custom, man. So, and they have one on there that it shows the Baroness case for the Baroness carded retro. So,
Okay.
obviously they're all the same size, except for the Cobra Commander is a different. I don't know if maybe it is the same size. I didn't take it. I don't want to take a chance, so I brought my actual Hiss tank Mickey Mouse carded Cobra Commander there and got fitted for a case, and now it's in a nice case. And they're cheap too.
Nice.
They're not super expensive either. So
Okay, great. So Gun Bunny, you're on IG, of course, because he's at Gun Bunny Customs, one of the best in the game there. Go check out at Chaz the Guru and scroll down a little bit and you'll find it.
yeah,
So
if you
we
go to the
got
link,
that.
my link tree on my bio, it'll show it on there. It's on one of the links on there.
Cool. All right, let's get to the next one. Here we go. Bobby B checks in. Solid crew tonight. Joining the replay squad. Hey man, appreciate that, dude. Appreciate that. I do that too. Sometimes I'll be watching YouTube on the elliptical or some other treadmill. So appreciate that. Down South 7, as far as retros, no one mentioned Falcon. Well, that's the thing, because they need to fix the face, and that's I guess technically that's all they would have to face, but something tells me it's gonna be in the regular classified line. But yeah, I mean that's not a bad guess. That's one that we need, so that would be amazing.
For sure.
Flint is one I was kind of thinking about too, because that's an easy one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people didn't like it, some people do. It's kind of a mixed bag figure. I think overall it's solid, but yeah, that's a good with the olive drab. That's a good one.
Just give us another Snake Eyes. Just.
And then of course we already have Roadblock, with the MG and everything. So there you go. But that's easy right there. What else we got? Retro blue shirts. Yep. So I think that's what Chaz was talking about there. I could see Ripcord. That's one. Yeah. But I don't know. Would they do Ripcord and retro before regular line? I mean, I know we get the Night Force version coming with the Dragonfly.
Well, that Recondo, I mean, what we're getting for regular Recondo is essentially retro. So they may do
good call. There you go. There you go. All right, cool. And then one more. Grunt. Well, Grunt already, I mean, I guess, yeah, he is kind of a classified grunt, right? So it'd be more of a traditional grunt. I don't know yet. I don't think yet, but those are all great guesses. All right, let's move on to the rest of this. Oh yeah, new pictures today. Chaz showed these. Shout out to Full Force as well. We got the Recon Diver. Anybody want to tackle what we see here?
Well, as far as like the guns and the equipment,
just any of that. Now that we see, it's our first in-hand picks, thanks to Simon Riley.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's everything that was in the render that we all know and love.
Mm-hmm.
They promised a lot, and they're delivering. So yeah, mass. You got the tanks. You got the GATs. You can get like 4 of these, and each one could be different. Probably get 8 of these.
Yep. And I'm wondering how different. Well, now we see the weapons are inside the plastic, and we don't really see. Unfortunately, that was the width of the picture he took, so we can't really see if that rifle there, the harpoon rifle, is warped or not. Because that was the last thing in the Q&A that Lenny brought up. He said he was angry. He was actually angry in a classified, classy way. He was actively aware that they're going to fix his issues on the warped and gummy guns. And he said in 2025, it will be a thing of the past, the warped gummy guns. And so in 24, most of these issues will dwindle down as the year progresses. So your next wave of classifieds might still come with some gummy stuff, but as the year goes on, it should go down and down and down. So that was the last bit of that interview highlights.
I definitely feel like they've gotten better in the last couple waves than they were. Like I don't know, they were pretty bad when Torpedo was coming out. Those things were bad.
Right. So what are you thinking about this? And he's got it the wrong way, doesn't he?
He does.
This thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, it looks great.
Maybe he's doing tricks and he's going backwards.
Yeah.
Good call.
Let's
Is that
try
like
spinning.
a shower curtain? Yeah, I'm like, what is that? Like a dirty shower curtain? All right, I won't judge. So
You're gonna see some
yeah,
soap with some hairs on it, and then you'll start judging.
I love how
thank.
small they gotten the
Yeah.
font on these things.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah.
That looks
Can
awesome.
anybody read that? GIJoe issued classified grade property of special forces. I have my face
Not
to
for
the screen.
civilian use or resale.
There
Yeah.
you go. You got your glasses on. But yeah, this looks fantastic, and that's cool. He's like,
Yeah,
which
you can
way
see
do I?
the LED on the radar beneath the propeller. It's great, man. That's so much love
Yeah.
for this.
Super stuff there. All right.
Is anybody army building those or what?
I'm not army building. I'm just grabbing one just to have it, but
I got two.
Yeah.
It only takes two to troop build.
it's true.
Well, they were $25 at BBTS and EE, and they honored the pricing. So why not?
Yes. If only I had friends of mine that let me know about that, so I could order some at that price too. Oh well.
So far they've honored it. You don't know yet. So far, we'll see when they charge.
I think they already emailed them, and we haven't heard from EE, but BBTS wrote back and said they'll honor it, and then they changed the price for everyone else. So I think they already wrote someone back.
Yeah, I got mine on Entertainment Earth, and it's sitting there, pre-order at that $25 price. I got two of each, so we'll see.
Yeah, we will. All right, let's move on to the next subject, and that's Cobra Commander #1. Mike, you said you're all caught up on Skybound Joe stuff. So talk to me about your first impressions of Cobra Commander debut.
I mean, I was surprised as anyone they were going the Cobra Law route, and I remember as soon as we see it on page, I was like, can they make Cobra Law cool? Is it possible to make Cobra Law cool? And I by the end, honestly, I think they did. Like I'm at least in it to see where it's going. Like I thought it was an interesting start. And also, and this might just be me talking, you don't have to agree, I think it's a cooler origin on paper than him being a used car salesman. I think being
anybody else want to take
I think being a car salesman is pretty lame. I'm just saying. It's lame.
Anyone
It's
else
lame.
agree with Mike? What about? Go ahead.
No, I love the shit out of Cobra Law. I always have, and I will say that it is a cooler origin, but there is something sinister about Cobra Commander just being a dude that's just evil as hell. There is something creepy about that. And it's like, yeah, I used to sell cars, and now I'm going to take over the whole world. There's something unnerving about
There's such a jump there.
I mean, I think what Hama was doing was, in a way, he was already aging up GIJoe, because the comic books, especially the Marvel run of GIJoe ARAH, was for an older audience. So they were kind of already having it both ways back then. I'm a Sunbow kid, but once I started going back and collecting those comics, and I had some of the comics too, where I'm like just reading it again, and I was like, whoa, this was for kids. It wasn't necessarily for kids, but it was for everyone. It just didn't talk down to kids. Not that the Sunbow did either, but it was definitely for a younger audience. And I feel like that's where the disconnect from Cobra Law and sort of the more grounded version of Cobra in the Marvel run was. You take it all the way to Devil's Due, you take it to IDW, pre-Skybound, right? There was like a viciousness that was going on with Cobra, with Crake, with the Cobra Civil War, all that stuff, right? And now with this it seems like this is going to be even nastier, and I dig that. But it's still harkening back to the aesthetics of Sunbow, but aged up the same way the comics always have been. Like this really is like taking that, that Snickers bar and melting it in hot chocolate and drinking it all at once. Like it's combining everything together. It's going to be great. Yeah,
and that violence, right? How gory and violent it was. right off the rip. I mean, it's the first issue. We saw Duke. We saw what they're doing in Real American Hero 301 through 303, and all these books have a sense of violence to them that we probably haven't had in a while. How are you feeling about that, Mike? The violence in some of these comics.
Well, there's always a
Nope.
a concern where, like, is it being violent for the sake of being violent? Like in Transformers, Starscream's just squashing dudes left and like he squashed 3 people in 4 issues. He just murdered them by hand. It like is this like a shock value thing? Does it really add to the story? Does it really bring up the stakes? So far, I think they're on the side of, it just makes them feel more like a real threat, more ruthless, and not
Right.
just for the sake of being gory to be gory.
Mm-hmm. Bobby, you read this issue.
Yeah,
Look at that. You put your hand up. I got you, bro. I got you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I think Mike kind of touched on something right there where it's not like Transformers. It's not gory to be gory. It's upping like when you watch the cartoons, you never get the sense of like, oh, these are gigantic robots that could squish people. And Starscream's like, oh, they're so squishy. Oh, and when they're firing at them, it just deflects out like, oh, these things are gigantic robots that can kill you with, like, even when Optimus Prime steps on the deer, he's like, I
Loved it.
It's so soft.
Like, it's so fragile. Yeah.
Yeah, like Optimus is going, oh, these are like precious beings you have to protect.
Yeah.
Starscream's going, F this shit. I can just rule. And then the fact that at the end of, spoilers, at the end of Cobra Commander, like, we see where they're getting this technology from. Like, even Starscream is vicious. Like, he ripped apart his own Decepticon to get parts.
Yep.
Like, Optimus is using, like, Megatron's, boomstick. Like, this is a very, like, real world where, like, oh, these things are jacked up. And then the fact that Cobra Law is, like, this, like, mystical city of scientists, and Cobra Commander's going, you are all soft and weak.
It's Wakanda, but they're snake themed.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and
I did dig when you first see Cobra Commander, he's in like that version 4 outfit where it's like translucent in I thought that was kind of a cool callback, the Eco Warrior one or whatever. Yeah.
I just like the fact that, like, he is resuscitated and, like, brought back to health just so they can, like, oh, this is a savage, vicious society. Okay. Like, okay, I don't know much about. I knew Cobra Commander, I just didn't know a whole backstory. But, like, reading this, I'm like, okay.
Who do you think is with him at the end of the issue?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea. I there's, like, so many. I'm like, it could be because you do see Destro in, well, not in Destro,
Duke,
Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, his company at least. The company at least. I'm like, okay.
Whoa. We're having an earthquake.
Yeah, I'm feeling it here too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't feel anything.
But
And I
Yeah.
I didn't know it.
good.
We're all
Yeah, I
in
think so.
California except for the guy in the middle. He's in the middle. He's in
Yeah,
the middle of America, Texas.
it was a pretty good one. Like, it was a good shake.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Did toys fall? None fell behind you.
No
Yeah.
one fell, but it was a good shake. Yeah.
Yeah, we've just been getting tons of rain and no flooding yet, but
I think it's Zartan because he talks about, he's like, why don't, like, it's easier if you disguise yourself, and I'm like, well, there's like one person that's all about disguises,
Mhm.
that is true. I was gonna see if I had my book, but I think I put it away. And then I think issue 2 was Dreadnoks. So
yeah
because this is only
so it's cool. I'm down.
Because Cobra Commander is only a 5 or 6 issue.
Oh, I
I
don't
think
know. I don't keep
aren't they
track of that.
miniseries?
I think so.
Yeah.
These comments about the earthquake are crazy. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of distracted.
Appreciate
KJ's
it.
toy shelves marked safe from earthquake.
Yeah. I got everything on
Punk,
stands, on figure stands.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Punk says I can give him his Joe Fest hotel info before I break off into the ocean. That's funny stuff. Mike, you going to Joe Fest or Chaz? Either
No,
one
it's
of
way
you?
too far away.
What about you,
No, dude,
Chaz?
that's way too far, dude.
Yeah.
in
So
Georgia
we
or
just had
something?
we just had a 4.5 off of San Bernardino.
Yes, that's
Oh,
pretty
my.
close, and it was pretty.
Wow.
It was pretty good. Yeah,
That's a big one. That's a big one.
yeah.
That's weird. Hey, Mike, you're in San Diego, though, right?
I'm in San Diego. Yeah,
Yeah, but we
I'm
still
not-
felt that here in
I
LA.
swear
So
I felt it.
I didn't feel anything, and I'm in HB, so I'm like I'm
That's-
closer to San Bernardino. It's weird that
Yeah, that's weird that you didn't feel it. Honestly, I feel like maybe you've got good shocks on your house or something.
Yeah, maybe, man.
Definitely
Maybe 'cause
felt it.
I'm
My
drunk.
wife texted me and she's like, "Is that an earthquake?" I was like, "Yeah, that's an earthquake."
a bunch of
My
toy
goodness.
nerds raging at Cobra Law. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Well, let's shake. What was that?
I was just doing Cobra la la la.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's Cobra La ourselves to the next shake, rattle, and roll to the next subject. But before that, I mean, Cobra Commander. We all read it? KJ, did you get to read it?
Yeah, I had a blast. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So what do we give it out of 5? Our good old whiskeys. We'll go with you, Mike. What do you rank Cobra Commander number 1 out of 5?
First issue, I'm giving it a 4 out
Yeah.
of 5. Like, it's a good start. I feel weird giving things like that a perfect 5 because like it's hard. I don't really have a base level for it, and I don't want to start the best because if it gets better, like where can you go with it? But it was definitely enough for me to be in on issue 2 and 3 or whatever so far. So I'm in.
Yeah, and Bobby, I actually want to ask you. You read a lot of comics. Is it Andrea Molina? She hasn't, or it could be a guy. Sorry, Andrea Molina. Delia in the Dark and In His Own Image are indie books. They hired someone relatively unknown for this, but the art was pretty fantastic in my opinion. It kind of reminded me of what is the? How can I not remember this book? It's Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. That
Saga.
one.
Saga.
Yeah, Saga. So I'm like, it's only my favorite comic book, and I can't remember the name. But yeah, that one. It kind of gave me vibes of that. But what's your take on the art? What's your take on the art? They are. I mean, the comics after all. We didn't talk about the art.
Yeah, the artwork was fantastic. The artwork in all 3 books has been just stellar. And I'm with Mike. I got to give Cobra Commander 4 out of 5. Like it was like it. I feel if out of the 3 books, the one that would probably get the 5 would be Transformers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's so damn good. But
it's so good.
Like I love Joshua Williamson's writing. Like he's killing it on Superman, and his Duke and Cobra Commander are just fantastic.
I did think it was kind of weird, like I don't know, like convenient that he's like, I need a car, and there just happens to be a guy with like a weird mini his tank car outside.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what are the odds?
I mean, but again, like look, that scene where he's like, I need a car, yours will do, and then like the blood, and you got the Cobra print. I'm like, that
was fun. Yeah,
so fun, so good. The way he drew Megatron at the end, like it's like this like hulking figure.
Yeah.
It looks great. So and Todd's right. Like Kirkman recruited an amazing team for these books.
Yeah. And I think this topic we'll worry about after these miniseries. I mean, we're only in issue 1, right? So let's read all of Duke. Let's at least read a few issues into each one before kind of contemplating what comes next. So, yeah, KJ, just a quick score. Move on to the next thing.
4 out of 5. I wish I got the Mega Action Series Optimus and Megatron. They're like 18 inches tall, especially you couple them with the Hayatoys Joes. Yeah, they would be just perfection. You would be recreating the comic panels. So yeah, I'm anxious for more.
Yeah. Cool. And Chaz, you told me you're not reading the comics right now, right? He's
I
muted.
can't read.
Oh, no.
I can't read.
Okay, he can.
There's a lot of pictures, dude. I mean, you can look at the cool pictures.
Well, we don't
I
know
like-
if he can even see because we can't see his face.
I
So-
never
never read.
I like
All right.
pictures.
There's a fun panel in Transformers where Cliff Jumper's flipping Decepticons off. Like, I mean, Optimus Prime suplexes Starscream. You can just appreciate that stuff.
Cool. All right, let's get to the next piece of entertainment. We'll go quick on this one. We don't cover video games a lot, but since we're in the Lucasfilm world today, did anybody see the trailer? Anybody a gamer? Anybody excited? We'll start with Bobby on this one. It's coming to Xbox and it's Machine Games. The creators of Wolfenstein 2, which is one of my favorite games ever. So go ahead, talk about what you saw in the trailer.
Look,
of Indiana Jones.
the trailer. I don't own an Xbox. I get violently angry after seeing that this was Xbox. I was cursing at the computer screen. I was like, God damn it.
It's also gonna be PC. It's gonna be Windows as well.
Yeah, anything on Xbox is pretty much Windows PC.
Of
course, I'm PlayStation and Mac, so it doesn't really do me any
Look
good.
at that.
I'm PlayStation and Mac too. It's like, God damn it. Here's the thing, and I kind of lean to what Spec said. Is like the gameplay. It's just early gameplay. It looked a little janky, so I don't know how it will play, but it gave me very, very Uncharted-esque vibes. Which I said because it's first person, it won't be Uncharted, but still kind of gave me Uncharted feelings. But I mean, that's Indiana Jones. Once the theme started to play, I was like, ooh, am I buying an Xbox now just for a fucking game? Interesting.
Yep. Mike?
I mean, I think it looks neat, but yeah, I'm not gonna play it because I'm a PS5 and a Mac, so I won't have any real way to enjoy it. But I hope it's good for all people that do. I mean, it's always fun. It's weird, like now you're bringing out an Indiana Jones game, like now, like this. You should have done that like a year ago, really. But
Well, I mean, then again, the movie didn't exactly make a splash. I thought it was good. And
well, I feel like that would have led into the hype, like people, you know, like because before the movie's out, there's like a lot of hype or whatever, and like, oh, here's a game, get more hyped. But now the movie, like a lot of people, I didn't hate the movie, but you know, it's not my favorite Indiana Jones movie by far. And people are like, the movie kind of let me down, and now is the game like are they souring on Indiana Jones?
And then this comment, Mike, the toy line is pretty much right.
Oh, it was always a limited line. They said that when they announced it, but yeah, it's done for
sure. What's up, Death Valley Machine? Appreciate you checking in, saying what's up to everybody. So yeah, and then Chaz, you're not gaming, are you?
The last system I seriously played was the Sega Genesis, so I should tell you.
that answers that. KJ, you're a big indie guy. What do you think? Did you get to see this trailer?
Yeah, and I think Troy Baker did a great job approximating Harrison Ford's voice as Indiana Jones. So I think he's going to be a great video game indie. I have an Xbox, tee-hee-hee, so I'm looking forward to the game. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. And okay, we got the Sarlacc. He said he wasn't coming tonight, but now we got a full stacked roster. Cool. What's up, Spec? What's happening, man?
Well, okay, I got wrapped
Sarlacc. He said he wasn't coming. Echo? You're echoing. You're watching the show, I think.
Stand by. There. Sorry.
Stand by for Titanfall. Okay, cool.
No, I got wrapped early, so I made it home.
Cool, man. Cool. So just a quick thought on Indy. I think Bobby referenced your thoughts on this.
Yeah, it looks early. I read another thing saying what made it look off was the first person instead of third person, which I can agree with. Personally, I loved the movie. I liked the toy line. I'm sad to see the toy line go, especially with a lot of gaps in it. But as far as I'm a PlayStation guy and a Mac guy, just like Mike is. But my kid did just build a gaming PC for the holidays. So if I do get the itch and it gets good reviews, I might steal his computer.
There you go.
I don't want to play
pull
my
a
game.
dad
Shut
card.
up.
What a dad.
Pull a dad card.
Father of the year. Okay. You
I need to do homework.
Lens flare like crazy.
Yeah, okay, JJ. We're gonna move on to the next
Damn it,
subject. Lots of lens flare here. We got the new Grogu, Mandalorian and Grogu show. Mike, I'll go straight to you. You excited for the big screen debut?
Sure. I mean, I started rewatching Mandalorian from season 1 a couple days ago. Just finished season 2 tonight, or season 1 tonight. I mean, it's good. I'm in. It's fun. I just want it to be fun. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need anything big. I don't need anything flashy. I just want to go in, sit down, and enjoy a Star Wars. That's if I get that, I'm happy.
What are you thinking, Chaz?
Yeah, man, I love every season of The Mandalorian. I know people were hating on season 3, but I thought it was awesome. So, and as much Star Wars as I can get, except for sequel trilogy, I love it. So,
Gotcha. And we're gonna get a Rey movie, so you're gonna get more of that.
No, I
it's
don't-
gonna be
I don't want that.
Sequel trilogy.
I don't want that.
Sequel trilogy. It's coming. But yeah. So,
I'm in.
Bobby, KJ, Spec, you guys could just jump in and talk about this.
I'm
Well,
down for it. I'm just very curious. So the unanswered question is that they had a season 4 written or outlined. So are we going to get a season 4, or is this going to turn into the feature? And I know who I can ask. I just can't ask them right now. I know that they're on a different job at the
I
moment.
was gonna ask you that. Are you doing camera on this?
Yeah, right. I wish.
Hey, you did camera on Mando before, right?
Just for a few days, but it was a dream come true.
awesome.
You were there. I was on set one day as a Clatoonian Raider with Bryce Dallas Howard directing me, but I was there for like a few hours. And I saw Dave Filoni at Craft Services. He likes buffalo chicken sliders. So that's all
That
that was
checks
my
out.
experience with the Mando. But
And hand
Bobby,
jobs.
yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, we're getting feisty now.
Good thing it's far enough in. It's not going to demonetize you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't bring anybody in until after 30 seconds. Bobby, go ahead, bring us home.
No, I mean, I'm with Chaz on the fact that, and Mike, in the fact that, like, I just want to have fun with Star Wars. I enjoyed the sequel trilogies. They were fun. I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but, you know, whatever. I love I love Mandalorian. I was a fan-ish on the Book of Boba. Like, I liked it. I didn't hate it. I liked it. I liked all the stuff, but Mando's just the most fun. But I feel it's best when it's either a Western or a samurai show. When it starts getting a little like off, like okay, fine.
Yeah. Staying with its roots. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I had just one thing about Mando and Grogu.
I was gonna go right to you to talk Bad Batch first, but you go this and then go straight into Bad Batch. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, because we already established that Grogu is a Mandalorian foundling. So Grogu's a Mandalorian. Then Jaren's a Mandalorian. The title is right there. The Mandalorians. You go James Cameron style. It's like it was right there, and they just didn't go with it. So that's my only thing. Other than that, I'm super stoked for it. It's like, yeah, let's go that. And as far as Bad Batch goes, no spoilers, but the previous season ended on a pretty dire note, you know. So this is kind of like that was their Empire Strikes Back cliffhanger, and now they're going to tie it all up. And we're seeing like a lot of the storytelling in visual cinematic mastery that team learned from Lucas and really applying it to this era that we always had questions about, that handoff from clone troopers to stormtroopers and everything else. It's going to be pretty intense. And, you know, when Clone Wars got that miraculous season 7 that had only really existed as myth until Disney Plus And frankly, the pandemic, which necessitated a whole bunch of content, came along. And it's strong. Like those last few episodes of the final season of Clone Wars were better than any of the damn prequels. And I have no reason to think that it won't be the same case with Bad Batch. So, yeah, mark your calendars. If you turned off Disney Plus, open up a new account and get some free weeks out of it. But yeah, I think this is going to be one to catch.
Yeah, it's Mike, take us through Bad Batch, your feelings on the show real quick, and then what's slated for the final season.
I'm excited for it. I like the Bad Batch. I like Wrecker a lot, and I'm trying to mentally prepare myself because he's probably. I mean, they're all probably gonna die. Let's just be honest. Like, where do they go? They're at the very least they're aging real fast. So, like, there's no way any of this can end well. And I'm just gonna try to put my best face forward. And I'm looking forward to it. It has, hands down, the most gorgeous animation of anything they've done. Like, I remember watching season 1 and thinking, like, damn, this looks like better than some of the prequel CGI. Like, in the movie, this cartoon looks better than some of the prequels.
Yeah.
Just look at that. That's even this is like right here from the trailer. Just the render looks fantastic. Bobby?
I mean, The Bad Batch is just one of those shows that keeps you that they're not going to be getting a happy ending, but you're really hoping they are, but they're not. And so I'm just stoked as all get out for this final season. But if season 2 was their Empire Strikes Back, maybe they get a happy ending with Omega. Who knows?
Okay, I like that.
Maybe Filoni does, give them an out on why we haven't seen them yet in any other series or project. And maybe they're just like off on some planet. It's like Full House, but 4 dads and a kid, and raising their sister. Daughter? No, I mean sister, daughter. I mean it's like kind of like Alabama.
Father, sister, mother, sister.
It's very Alabama-ish here, but like the Outpost was great. I mean,
yeah.
If it was Outpost the one with
Mayday and Crosshair, right?
Yes. God, that one. I remember watching that one at the end. I was like, the credits are scrolling. I'm just there going, what the shit? Oh, yeah, it's great storytelling.
Gotcha. All right, guys, just to save time, we get a lot to go. I'm going to come back to you other guys for the next subject. So that was the Bad Batch. And just quickly wanted to shout this out. I just ordered this. It should be arriving on Monday. Hasbro Pulse is shipping this wave. It's a mostly Book of Boba Fett wave. It was funny. I alerted Chaz and Mike first, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, who cares?" And I'm just like, I guess, is it because Entertainment Earth shipped it first? Because when you go to all the websites, they all say pre-order. And when I went on Pulse, it said add to cart. It was like, wait, how come I haven't heard this from anyone?
Mike gets this stuff from Canada, right?
It's true. Yep. Toy Snowman.
Well, the Snowman. Well, I know, but I just meant in general for the plebs, the peasants. I thought it was a big deal.
I got mine from Entertainment Earth. I only ordered the Mando and the Pike Soldier. Yeah. And I was like, the Cad Bane, it's pretty much the same, right, as the dual set, except for
it is. In fact, it's worse than the dual set one.
Oh, really?
Well, in my opinion, the paint isn't as good. The paint on the dual one is higher quality, and I like the face better. And it's got a spot on his gauntlet for the flame effect, whereas the mass release one does not.
Oh. Okay.
Oh
So
man, I wish I knew that. I would have held off. But I was like, I might as well get the whole wave if they're available now and not coming
Sure.
out till March or whatever it
Well,
was on BBTS and Entertainment Earth.
Yeah, I saw that Cad Bane at Target, and I was like, yeah, I'm glad
Oh,
I'm
with the
paying-
jacket? With the jacket?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I was like, well, I'm glad I canceled that one.
Well, I was gonna jump in and say Specs hunting all the time. Did you see any of these at your targets?
As you know, I have had
Yes,
no
you're
time to hunt.
filming. I got you. Okay,
I've been
so
busy,
these
but-
dropped when you stopped. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, in terms of talking about this wave, I'd rather go talk about Bad Batch. Like, I don't-
I've got a Target every single day, and I've not seen them yet. But
If you skip anything from this wave, get that Mando. It's the best Mando. And that David Warren Hernandez, that is not the Mines of Mandalore Mando. That is the Glavis Ringworld Mando.
Yeah,
the Mines of
Mines is
Mandalore.
TBC.
And it's also coming out in Black Series, but it's worse. It's the same body, but he has a molded cape instead of the soft goods, and he does not come with a jetpack. So, like, why would you get it? Why would you get that instead of this Book of Boba Fett one? It's like objectively worse in every way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna get
weird.
this Mando. My comic shop had it. I'm not paying my comic shop prices, but
No, you shouldn't. No.
that's the one I'll get, and then I might pick up the Tusken on clearance, but I don't care about the Pike. I have the dual Cad Bane, and I prefer the animated Cad Bane much more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Copy that. I was actually going to save you for the next subject. Forgot about the slide. So anyway, but before I get to that, though, make life easier. Who in this round table is not collecting TVC, so I don't have to call you? Who doesn't collect TVC?
I do not.
Everyone else does. Okay, so me and Mike and me. All right, cool. So we'll skip us just to make light, and we're gonna go fast on this, guys, because I want to get to our main subject. What's up, Spec?
I don't either. You know I don't. I
I know I
Misheard
don't.
you ask
Well, I'm
the
asking
question.
everybody. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll put the three guys in the middle here. All right, so anyway, there's a fan stream yesterday. We'll fly through this because you've already seen it or didn't care, and then the pre-orders went up today at 10 a.m. Pacific. And then, man, the God of all gods was not here. Patrick.
Well, he's not part of the Star Wars team anymore.
Well, breaking news, Mike. I didn't know that.
Mike, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. They moved him to Nerf. You can check out his LinkedIn bio and stuff. He's the same position, but on Nerf now.
Nerf.
Wow.
And he's not part of the Star Wars team anymore.
It's crazy.
Wow.
That happened
breaking
on
news.
that happened on January 1st. Because on his like LinkedIn or whatever, it says that he was head of Star Wars and Indiana Jones until December 2023.
So that's why they're moving Steven Evans?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's news. Mike,
Got
breaking news.
That's what's up. That was great. I mean, I haven't seen that. I mean, you knew it on January 1st, but and I've been listening to your Black Series Cantina
I just
podcast.
found out this morning. I got a
okay, there you
message.
go.
I got a message from Jake from Forlom to Zuckus, and he's like, Patrick has left the building, and he sent me a screenshot of his little
Cool.
work thing.
Yeah.
So he's
mind-blowing.
not. No, Emily's still in charge of. Emily's in charge of anything that's not Disney. Basically,
Yep,
she's in
I
charge
was-
of Dungeons and Dragons, Power Rangers, Ghostbusters.
Magic, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, for sure. My Little Pony. But look, hey, Shark Eyes, thank you so much. Yeah, please, if you're watching, we got a Murderer's Row tonight. We got Chaz the Guru. We got Mike Kaess doing GIJoe and Star Wars crossover event. We got a great topic. We're going to fly through this fan stream. So please like the show. And if you're just watching for the first time, give us a like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Okay, cool. So that was fantastic. I put that slide there. I made a joke and you gave us news. That's just the way it goes.
You're welcome.
Look, three of you, thank you. 3 of you collect TVC. Any one of you who do want to take a stab at this, let's kind of keep these, we don't really have a big TVC audience. So let's go quick through these reveals. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
They're
it's a brand new sculpt. A way back, people were complaining that they didn't want him as a repack because of the articulation. So they sculpted a whole new one, and instead of Well, and now they've given them a Bad Batch card, so I like it. I'm a card collector, so I love anything on the card. If they're going to repack it, I always wish that they're going to do an alternate card, which it looks like they're doing now. So that's awesome. They're kind of finally listening and doing that, because people that if they're going to repack it, people that are openers aren't going to buy it anyways. And then people that are on cards, why would you buy the same card? So at least they're going to get, the card collectors if they put on a different card. But this is a brand new sculpt, so everyone's happy because people have been crying for this for a long time.
All right. Either KJ or Bobby, you picking this up? Rex, Baraka Mission from Bad Batch.
I'll probably pick him up. Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. All right. Nicely said, Chaz. And we'll go to KJ on X-Pilot Luke. X-Wing pilot.
My stumbling into TVC, I got the TIE Fighter. It was like 75% off on Big Bad Toy Store. And then I got the X-Wing, but the X-Wing, you have to buy Luke and the R2-D2 separate, right? So I would probably update my TIE Fighter with this Luke, and I can't wait.
Yeah,
Bobby?
Same, 100%. I'm reading this Luke.
I saw someone complain that he didn't come with a lightsaber, and I was like, for all the scenes that he was using his lightsaber flying around in the X-Wing.
He's just a reissue. He's just a reissue of an older one, so they're just putting him out again. So
he's got a good face on him, though.
The only difference is I think they moved that warning label off of the Hildebrand thing. People were complaining about that. To me, I never really cared either way, but a lot of people were kind of miffed about that. So at least they're doing that.
All right, I'll just get it for the cart then.
Yeah.
Axe Woves, Bobby.
Yeah. Well, I'll say.
Didn't he pegworm? Didn't he pegworm at Target pretty hard?
Yeah.
He did not super hard. He didn't Lando pegworm, but he was on there for a while, like with some of the other ones. But
I will say, as a Black Series collector, I'm pretty annoyed that these have swappable helmets, and I wish they would do that with Black Series. I hate removable helmets. I want swappable heads like these have. Yeah,
the first one didn't, so I think that's the deal.
Yeah, this one does. Yeah, this one does.
They're doing that one, but they were talking about, he has the season 3 deco, but he really doesn't if you look at the card. But it's cool. It's a new one it's on a new card, so I'm happy with it. So
yeah, so that's the thing. This is the minds of Mandalore too. And so here David talked about evergreen. Yeah, it also means it's like something is so popular that it can never, you're going to have that consistent fan base no matter what. So it's not exactly just repaint and reissue. For instance, an evergreen line would be WWE Mattel. It's just like the collectors are so hardcore that they will buy 15 different Ultimate Warriors because he wore those different outfits in the ring. So that could be, reissue, repaint as well. But it's also something that they consider just consistent. They don't have to worry about. It's not something new. So that's
you also have to consider there's always new people collecting a line, especially on a line that's as old as this. Black Series just hit, it's going on 11 years. And there's characters like Mando, Darth Vader, like they're popular. And if the last one came out 3 years ago, it might be harder to get than something that's new, and you want to give those people a chance to have one in their collection.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good comment. Clearance is now outlet, but I guess it's just a better word. I don't know, Mike. What do you think about outlet?
It's a better word. Yeah, it's just a better word.
Yeah, that's all it is, right?
It doesn't have that negative context.
Yeah, like clearance. Like I'm waiting for clearance. I'm waiting for outlet, guys. I don't know that outlet deal. Just like a more Midwest way of saying clearance, I guess. Okay. All right. What else do you got here? All right. Actually, this shout out to, I don't think he's watching, but K-Wish picked this up for me at Target for the Black Series version. He found it and it's the same price online. I said, go ahead. So Mandalorian Fleet Commander. Anybody picking this up?
I haven't seen this one at all. Yeah, I'll get that one. Well,
this one is coming at. Oh, you haven't seen the Black Series version?
No.
You're saying. Okay. Okay, yeah, he found it at Walmart actually. Sorry, Walmart, not. And it's funny, it was actually my Walmart, which I go to and is disastrous. He drove up here and found it. But anyway, yeah. So this is TVC.
Yeah, I found the whole wave at Walmart, but I skipped that guy. I was like, but I got all the other ones.
Cool.
But this guy, I'm yes to all these, so you don't have to ask me. I'm a completist with TVC, so everything on a card, I'm going to buy at least one.
Sweet. All right. Moving on. Now here's that Mike. We were talking about that Mines of Mandalore, but this one has a soft goods.
So this is the TVC version. This is fine. I was talking about the Black Series version. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks great. If I collected Happy Meal toys, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But not really.
Yeah.
But also a little bit.
No, it's fantastic for sure. If you're collecting Happy Meal toys, it is. It's a win. I mean, you guys, all three of you are going to pick this up that collect TVC, I'm sure. So
yeah, 100%.
All right. And Grogu, we got a different prom. It covers up and all that stuff. There are 3 different hood deco variations, I would say. So anybody want to talk about little baby Yoda?
Yeah, it looks cool. Cool. Yeah, I don't think many people need another Grogu, but for me, it's on a cool card with the whatever. So of course I'm gonna buy it.
It's got chainmail or something. What's that?
Yeah, it's a little flat plastic chainmail that just is there to exist. Like, what can you do with it?
You vacuum it up is what you do.
Yeah, you can lose it.
Yeah.
This I saw, and the first thing I thought, I was like, I'm not paying $20 for that.
No,
so
it's $6.
It's the same complaint people had with the Black Series version that came out, in 2022 or whatever. Yeah. It's asking us to pay the same price for something like this is always a tough ask, and you have to really either make it worth it with accessories and stuff, pack it in with something else as an accessory, or like put it in a special line so you can lower the price point. It's tough to feel good paying regular price for something that's just not. It's not the same.
Exactly.
Star Wars,
especially when they want to charge you, deluxe on a bunch of things too.
Right?
They don't lower the price when they give you something little, right?
No, but they'll charge you more when there's something extra for sure.
Yeah, that's why people get pissed off.
Yeah.
All right, we got a comment about this from Ken Best. I'm slowly transitioning to the vintage collection. Lost my enthusiasm for the Black Series, although that $50 Sabine 2-pack zaps.
I'll defend that $50. I don't even collect this, and I'll defend that. I'll defend that $50. There's a bunch of reasons. First of all, these are 2 deluxe figures. Look at all the accessories they come with. Like, that's just a plethora of accessories. Number 2, these are on very specific, very low run cards that are specifically designed to fit with an already collectible thing, the Ghost. So the only people that are going to be buying this, really, I mean, not the only people, but the people it's intended for are already spent $500 on a Ghost. What's $50 more to complete a team? There are tons of people that are willing to do that. I don't have any problem just because of the nature of the collectability of what this is, because they're not making this in the same level that they make any other like TVC figure.
She's got a great sculpt.
She does.
Yeah, she does.
Well, the Sabine, the deco, man, look at how much paint is on that.
I want this in the Black Series so bad. The season 3 look with the jetpack and stuff is just mwah.
Yeah, it looks awesome. So yeah, I got it because I got the Ghost, so I need these 2 to complete the set.
I like that they're making it for everyone. Like, they're basically having a mini HasLab for it, like they did with the Jabba's Palace throne room thing, where it's like it's just open. Anyone can order as many as they want. You don't have to worry about it selling out.
It's not exclusive to HasLab backers, and there's a limit of 5.
Correct.
And Valentine's Day is the last day you can pre-order this. So
yeah. Oh, what's up, 1/6 shooter? How you doing, baby girl?
All right, here we go. right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's going to be.
It would be it would be neat. I just think $50 is like it's a fine price for what you're already in for. Like, what's another $50? Like, you're already spending $500.
They loaded those bubbles too, man.
They did.
So.
They like both of those are definitely deluxe figures for sure.
So pipeline reveals. This was just the one retro.
That's retro.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The one retro offering, and they combined Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith into one. So, anybody excited about this?
I am. Because I hope they come in the box, because most of the sets of late have been coming in those special boxes where they're all in.
Yeah.
But the last wave with the Book of Boba Fett, because I think there was like 8 figures and they can't fit in one of those boxes, so they all just came single carded. But I like them better like in the collector's box. It's really cool. And
Same.
So anyways, I hope that's this one. I think somebody said that they said they were gonna put this is just maybe one set, they're gonna do more. So hopefully they do a couple sets of 6, put them in the collector's boxes, and I'll be stoked.
I just have the original one, and that was enough for me. Just that first one.
Same.
That
Yeah, I
came
got
out.
that one.
So I was just like, just to have something from the whole Kenner thing or whatever. But that was it for me. Okay, moving on. So we got TBC pipeline reveals. KJ, take us through it.
Just exciting stuff, especially if you're getting back to 375 and you want figures from the Disney Plus shows. Honestly, what TVC allows you to do is open up those play sets and those vehicles in a way that Black Series is kind of difficult to do. So if you like the dioramas, if you like toy photography, the detail on TVC, just as good as Black Series. It's amazing the articulation and the engineering they can do at that scale. And so they've only been getting better. I mean, Star Wars essentially invented this scale.
Yes.
So so it's just more expansion of that world.
Bobby, what do you think? Would you excited for any of these?
Actually, I am. I mean, it's gotta be the right price, but yeah, I mean that. I'm a sucker for Mandalorian. I'm a sucker for any Mandalorian, really. Except for
I think that was the whole hysteria. Was you just showed us a DeLorean for pre-order, and now we're getting one in the pipeline. Like,
he has a new hat. He has a new hat.
He has a new hat.
The stolen jetpack as well.
That's
from the hallway fight. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't there already a Dark Trooper?
It was part of a exclusive set. That was the only way to get it.
Well, okay, so here's the deal. So the Dark Trooper before was one of those deluxe packages. So the deluxe packages are those stupid boxes
with the locker.
Yeah,
right.
They came with the locker, which is cool if you're an opener. But like people that just like the card to keep them on card, like me, I wanted a Dark Trooper on a card, so that's pretty cool. But Cop Vanth are putting on that stupid deluxe box, so I'm kind of pissed about that. So everyone wants them on the card, but so maybe down the line, maybe we'll do it. But and then Ahsoka the White looks pretty cool. Is going to look pretty cool. And then the HK87, he already came out on the retro line on the last wave. He's a tan and red, so the card looks pretty cool. So I'm sure he's going to look pretty good too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and then the 4-pack should be all carded Ahsoka with carded droids, separate carded, but all in that 4-pack package like they've been doing. So you get them in a box, but they're all on their own separate cards. So that's pretty cool.
Gotcha. Very kind of like the Sabine pack, but with 4. So gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right, and then I guess, but Cobb Vanth does he need to be a deluxe? He just has armor on. That was kind of weird.
Welcome to Black Series.
Oh god, that was a thing they talked about, like how much paint deco, and yada yada yada. People were just like, "What?"
Yeah, but they'll 100% blame the paint, and on a certain scale, paint is very expensive. Someone's got to do it, but still, it sucks. It sucks paying more just because something's got paint on it.
It didn't seem like he had that much paint where it would have been deluxe on the Black
Series. It's that chest piece. Like, and there was still paint apps missing, but it's that chest piece that It's got a lot more going on there.
I mean, I bought it anyways. Of course, I'm gonna buy
Sure, me
a
too.
Black Series Cup.
Yeah.
But still, I'm not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah, well, I didn't enjoy it, but I like seeing them on my shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
So the comment here from 1-6 is no Carson Teva, and everybody wants the Frog Lady from Mando season
Frog
3 too.
Lady.
So yeah, so I guess we didn't get that, but they're just going to be trickling things down the line. Like, it's going to be a slow crawl as a Star Wars collector. So, and speaking of slowest of the slow crawls, we got 3 reveals and pre-orders for Black Series, and we were talking about how one of them isn't coming out till 2059 or whatever. So here's Phase 1 clone. Who pre-ordered this bad boy today? Mike, you did,
2.
right?
I pre-ordered 2 of them. This is on the new 3.0 body, and it is one of the best figures Hasbro's done in the Black Series. Like, I get people not really knowing the difference or whatever, because it kind of, on the surface level, it all looks the same, but it's night and day in hand. It's so much better. The poses you can do, the silhouette, the proportions, everything is much better. It's got better ball joint on the shoulder. It's got bicep swivel. It's got a new chest with the torso overlay instead of everything sculpted. Floating knee pads. Like, I don't even care about the removable helmet. Like, everything else, if it didn't have a removable helmet, it would still be like a better figure because of the advancements they've made in the sculpting and detailing and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, no, and I didn't have to ask if we're all collecting Black Series, because I think we all are, at least cherry picking. So we're all in, right? There's no one not collecting any Black Series. So, all right, but the bad boy of them all, this made me happy. This made me thrilled. And honestly, I didn't see, other than, hey, it doesn't come with a shield, but then if it did, it'd be 50 something bucks, right? So I mean, that was, other than maybe that comment, didn't look like anybody was really upset by the look of the Destroyer Droid Deca. So Chaz, you excited,
awesome.
man?
Awesome, dude. Yeah, I ordered that right away. Yeah, it looks awesome, dude. And I'm not even like a real prequel guy, but I mean, that is awesome. I like that. I like the different troopers from the prequels. So this was a no-brainer, man. It looks awesome. Clean.
Yeah. Genghis.
I'm anticipating third-party energy shields.
Oh, for sure.
Basically, find the cheapest, like I don't know, dishware.
Get a hamster ball. Just get a hamster ball and cut it a little bit. Yeah.
Find pink and blue hamster balls and get to work. It's gonna be dope. I need my Jedi power battles on, so I gotta get that going.
Rolls into a ball, Bobby. Did you get one?
I didn't. I'm gonna wait. There is something I don't know what it is. I want 1, maybe 2, because to go with my Obi-Wan, but I don't have Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon to fight it. So I'm like, I don't know.
You're more of an OT guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I probably will end up getting one. She said it does look badass. It really does look badass. And I agree with you. If they'd come with like an energy shield, it would have been like $50, and then I'd be like, go to hell. But I probably will pick up 1 or 2 of these just because it does look super cool. I won't lie.
Right. Spec, I think you said in our chat that you're waiting for clearance. $33.99. That's not a good price for this, bro. Come on.
I'll wait for a sale. No, I'm not saying it's not. It's a cool figure. It's a big figure. I've had to pare down my shelves, and because GIJoe is overtaking, because that's my main line.
That's the whole subject, that we're getting into right away. Right. 5 or 10 minutes from now.
I have one shelf left that's dedicated to Star Wars, except for a couple small shelves that I have Bad Batch and Bounty Hunters and Book of Boba on. And so if I were to get this today, I have no room for it. So for as cool as it is, it's not a must-have for me. If I find it on sale, or if Target does their 25 off 100, and I find other things I want, like maybe I'll grab it. But you know that they're going to make a lot of these. You know it's going to show up at Black Friday or something, and that's when I'll get it. And if it doesn't, I'm not going to feel like I lost out on.
Yeah, I'm on spec on that.
Mike, are these going to fly off the shelves, or are people going to be able to wait on clearance for them, or what?
I think as we go forward in the future, playing the clearance chicken game's gonna get more and more of a gamble.
Let me tell you, Mike. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, Mike. I saw
Yeah.
your video, amazing, best of the year, and half the figures you put there
Yep.
that I don't have. I went and looked, and I can't get them. They're sold the hell out. They're on
Sure.
eBay and Macari, and that's fucking it. So I'm like,
Yep.
and then I got lucky where I would go to Entertainment Earth and go, oh, I can actually pre-order this Luke that's been out for 6 months. Like
Yeah.
it's been out, but it's on a pre-order, a back order, if you will. So I'm like, playing that chicken game with Star Wars Black Series. Don't underestimate Star Wars fans. They buy stuff, man.
Well, it's not even just that. You know, because you have to realize that a lot of this stuff, like this figure right here that we're just seeing, they've already been working on this for a year. Like it's new to us, but this isn't new. And people that pre-order toys, like they didn't just pre-order boxes of these, you know, when they went up for sale this morning. They've had, like, people like Nerdzoic and Big Bad Toy Store, they've had their orders in for these for a bit now. They know that these are coming out. So Hasbro has been making them in smaller batches. They are doing more fan channel exclusives. Like, all these are fan channel because they're just making
hold
them
on.
in smaller qualities. Yeah.
They were Famazon, but Thrawn.
This is not Famazon.
So this was not on Amazon today.
This is not on Amazon.
Was bugging Peternia, where's the link? And he's like,
yeah, it's not on Amazon. The Clone Trooper is Famazon. This one is just fan channel.
Fan channel, and then Thrawn is everybody because it's.
But I think we're gonna see. Well, last year was things that people ordered a year ago, back when more people were collecting. There was more money or whatever. You know, the we haven't been hit by the recession is bad then. So 2023, a lot of things hit clearance because things were over ordered. Distribution was kind of a crapshoot. And so we saw a lot of things hit Ross and go on clearance because they're just sitting around for a while because they ordered a ton. I genuinely think that we're going to see a course correct for that in the future, where people are like, stores are going to be ordering less, or they're going to be like, you can't even get this at Target or Walmart, which means that it's not going to be sitting in Target and Walmart distribution warehouses, which means they're not going to be sitting in a box on a pallet for a month after they should have been shipped out. And then Walmart sees them and goes, oh, this is old stock. And then they sell it to a liquidator, and then it hits up, to Ross. Like, those things are not going to happen with this stuff. Like, we're just not going to see that again.
Absolutely amazing take on that. Dave, wait, I talked to you about this. Who didn't I talk to about the droid Deka? Yeah, who wants to take a jab at this? No, you were good.
I got two though. I pre-ordered two.
I pre-ordered one from everyone, so that way
I wish whoever gets it first. Yeah.
Right, and then I'll get my one, and then whoever's second, then I cancel the next two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I think that it should have come with blast effects. Like, that's the only thing I could think of that I really could, or maybe like an electricity thing to put around it. Like if it got hit by one of those little stun balls or whatever, the droid poppers, like little things like that would have been really cool, especially for the deluxe price point. But I don't think it's egregious that it's a deluxe figure. I think that's for the size.
No,
like, even the box. Like,
we have Wrecker for 33.
Mike.
We have Black Chrysanthemum for 33.
Yeah.
Like, this for 33 is a surprise, a delight to me.
I was expecting more. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
39.
you're spot on, Mike. I think we covered this on one of the casts last year. I think you're right that there's going to be a course correct. I think production numbers are going to shrink. And so I should say, I'm not playing the clearance waiting game.
Sure.
If it goes on sale, I'll pick one up. If I miss out on this one, it's not a big deal to me.
That's how I'm doing the Jurassic Park Hammond collection. I'm only buying them if they go on sale or clearance or whatever. I mean, I like them, but not enough to be like, I have to buy this. It's the newest dinosaur. I think dinosaurs are neat, and if I get one, I got the T-Rex for $20. Perfect. Love it.
Yeah,
but like,
figures are cool, but not at $15 a pop.
Exactly. Not for me, but that's not true for everyone. There are people that like they love that and they want to buy them as soon as they can, full price. That's how it is for me with these. Like, I want a destroyer droid on my shelf. That's a figure that's been missing from a 6-inch scale in the Black Series, I should say, because there was that one from like 2000. But that's been a hole in the collection. Super Battle Droid, hole in the collection that we've needed for a while. So now that we're getting them, like, of course I want them. I'm gonna show my support because I want to see more stuff like this. So I'm like the PSAs from Starship Troopers, where I'm doing my part. Would you like to know more?
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I was clearance waiting for Mara Jade. That never happened.
Sure.
And then
Never
last
happened.
night I went on, it was like 2 nights ago, I went on Amazon, and one of these, all these people that buy it to resell it, eventually they just drop it because no one's buying it, especially during inflation.
Yep.
It went to 25-ish, which is basically the price, or
Not
maybe
bad.
$1 less.
Yeah.
And I had a $25 gift card, so I'm just paying like for tax or whatever. I was like, this is not going to ever hit clearance, and if it does, some lucky person will get it. Like, what was the Wolverine carded one spec? Like, someone found that, and when I posted that, I realized they were in Bakersfield. It's always like these places where you don't have a lot of collectors, scalpers, Frankensons, folk frequenting, so you're able to get a retro card of Wolverine for $5. You're not going to get that in central Los Angeles or Lower Valley. It's just not going to happen. So you gotta, if you want something, you gotta buy it. All right, next up, the last one of the Black Series is Thrawn, and then we'll move on. KJ, let's go to you. What are you thinking about this Thrawn? Missing a beer belly, though, right?
He's not. Look at that last picture. He's got a beer belly.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's going to be super dope.
Is that it?
It's going to be dope. Yeah.
It's going to be dope. That's it.
It's a perfect face scan. I mean, the up there it's pretty great. I mean, the red eyes and everything. So, but the elephant in the room is it's coming out in Chaz. It's coming out in the spring of 2025.
Yeah, well, I looked on because I ordered it from Pulse today, and let me look
Same.
right now. I think it says January.
It says
1st,
January.
2025.
It does.
So-
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I heard the spring.
And because it
said
says
spring.
January, I would bet we'll probably see it at the end of this year because that's how it's been. Where we've been getting things earlier than what they've been saying.
Yeah, Balin Skull and Shin Hati were like February.
Yeah,
And those popped up at the beginning of the year.
I mean, I saw them at Target or at Walmart in December.
You have a nice Walmart.
I think it's a great representation of Mikkelsen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love Mikkelsen's portrayal of Thrawn, especially in Rebels and well, I guess it was just Rebels. But as far as figures go, I like the archive Thrawn, and I'm gonna stick with the archive Thrawn. Like, to me, from a visual standpoint, that is what he's supposed to look like.
Fair.
But what
If-
if
I think that's
Mikkelsen?
fair. Yeah.
What's up?
Okay.
I was going to say, if Mikkelsen had hit the gym before he took this role and shed some weight, like, I know a lot of people were like, well, he's the equivalent of like a 70-year-old. It's like, okay, 70-year-old human, but he's like a chiss, and he's supposed to have faster reflexes. And, if he would have kept himself in shape for his oncoming plans and whatever, like, I don't know. I loved everything except for the physical attribute. And I'm not trying to body shame him, and it's just in my mind's eye that's not how Thrawn looks. So I'm just gonna stick.
But I mean, the release date, Bobby. I mean, why is it taking so long? I mean, a whole year, right? I mean, a year for the figure that should be on shelves last year, basically.
Let's ask Kiadi Mundi.
Seriously,
Look.
when is that one supposed to come out, man? I'm waiting for that one.
Well, look, and here's something that we've all complained about, especially with the Disney Plus toys and shows, the fact that we're getting these figures a year and a half after the show is done. And look, I get it. That Thrawn is gonna be the big bad, and it's the Empire, with the Mandalorian movie. that might be why they're like, okay, well, we can wait because yes, this is Ahsoka Thrawn, but also this will be like the Mandalorian movie Thrawn and blah blah blah. But a whole year, and I know that the thought process might be like, oh, we'll get them excited for this. Yeah, get us excited for summer, right? Like get us excited for like April, like oh, this is gonna be like Q2, Q3, not a whole year from now. Like by the time that this comes out, I'll be like, oh yeah, they did show that off last year. I think.
Well, especially when you see Marvel movies come out and then they got the figures right there on the shelf, right when it's coming out or before it comes out, right?
Yeah, like there's, and I get, like I know that there is like you know, like okay, well this show is coming out this time, and I get that things get pushed back, like the Marvels, like that movie kept getting pushed back, and the toys kind of came and went, and no one really cared. But you know that you're doing Ahsoka. You know that this figure is coming. We got privy to the fact that Mickelson was coming back as Thrawn before the show came out, so we knew what he was going to look like. Like you're telling me that Hasbro didn't go, you know what? Let's jump on the ball now. That way we can have this figured out when the show hits. In a year, you know, granted the movie will keep everyone, you know, wanting. Seriously, and to Spec's point, yes, he was a little, but also he was like kind of stranded on another dimension,
in another galaxy.
Right,
another galaxy.
Like,
Maybe food works differently in that galaxy.
I was just gonna say, so he was eating 4-course dinners every night.
Maybe calories burn differently in that galaxy.
And again, you know, you see, you know, Ezra, and he's like, I'm fit as a fiddle, and Thrawn's like, ho ho ho, but
He's Jabba the Hutt Santa Claus.
Exactly.
So Lucasfilm is screwing Hasbro because they're like keeping stuff too much stuff secret. Where they should be sharing some like the characters, like you know they're going to be in. There's not a secret that you're going to see these guys. They should be already given the information so they can start making the figures ahead of time.
Yeah,
that's 100% the issue. But you also have to look at it from the other end. Look at the figures that we have gotten on time or early. They've all had issues because they've all been based off of like the concept art or early concepts. That's why Hu Yang is the wrong color. That's why Merrick is the wrong color, because they were based off concept art. That's why Paz Vizsla, who we didn't even know his name for a while, that's why he's got the wrong deco. That's why some Bad Batch characters. That's why Echo comes with that gauntlet attachment. That's why what's his face Rex is missing some stuff, because this is what they looked like in the concept art that they were sent. And then those change, because a lot of the stuff can change at the last minute. They'll change colors, they'll change decos because nothing's finalized.
Right, like those lightsabers is a running change, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yes, the problem 100% is how secretive Lucasfilm is, and how much they don't have things nailed down, and that's the difference between the Marvel team and Marvel Legends and the Star Wars team with Lucasfilm, because even though they're all Disney, they're essentially separate companies. The way they work, the way they talk, what stipulations they've got, they're all different. None of them are the same. They've got different budgets, they've got different rules, all of that is different. So you can't really compare them one for one because they're not. But when we do get stuff early, 100%. It's wrong. And the big one for me is that Paz Vizsla. The TVC Paz Vizsla is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Everything looks great. He's got all the cool accessories like the little shield and his knife. And we're getting our 4th or 5th release of Paz Vizsla in the Black Series. And it's the same figure they made back in 2019, which we got when the show aired. We're getting it on shelves as the show's airing, and it was cool. But there's issues with it because they were based off concept art. We don't have that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and
cool.
Ryan makes a good point about the fact that it took us 2 years to get the No Way Home figures.
Yeah.
But
it takes that long to make a figure. Like people think that it's like, oh, it's like 6 months or whatever. No, it takes 18 months, a year to 18 months.
Yeah.
McFarlane's the only one that fast tracks.
Yeah,
and has a shorter turnaround time,
and look at those figures. I'm sorry if you like McFarlane, but most of those are hot garbage.
I agree, 100%.
I'm sorry,
hot garbage. Face sculpts are terrible. Articulation's terrible. There's hot garbage.
As I literally just pre-ordered the new Superman figure.
Hot garbage.
There's something out there for everybody.
And that's true. I don't want to yuck up people's yums, but I've bought a couple McFarlane figures. I've never had one I've been happy with ever.
Yeah. Well, you know what's hot garbage? Yep, there you go. If you like the property, that's the key. He owns it. So you know what's hot garbage? Walmart. And they have an exclusive coming out. Mandalorian Night Owl. But and sadly, no, we're not getting that Moff Gideon. That's just a damn freaking
it's a helmet.
It's imagine getting the figure, even though it's the same thing with a helmet. I want it. I would
get it. We'll get it.
Yeah,
we'll get it.
We will, like 2 years after the show, like Bobby said. Yeah, that's the thing. So but you were excited about
just going to be a repaint of the Night Owl is just going to be Bo-Katan and what's her name?
So there's the
Sasha
the
Banks.
Walmart one is the girl body. Then there's a Target one that's a dude body.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. Well, that Jedi Survivor 3-pack looks pretty decent. I mean, we know the Magna Guard is hot garbage, like you say, but at least it's. I mean, I think this is if you're gonna do 3-packs, and Amazon isn't the hardest as long as you pre-order right away. It's not the hardest place. It's not Walmart. So I don't know. What are you thinking of that 3-pack, Mike? You digging you Jedi Survivor fan or what?
Oh yeah, I love the game for sure. I've been on one. I probably won't buy more than one unless it goes on sale or something. I don't have enough room on my shelf for any more battle droids, honestly. I've got so many battle droids. But I'm down with the decos, and as soon as I was playing the game, I was like, I wonder how long it's gonna be until we see repaints of all these figures in this Raider look. But yeah, I'll buy it. It's gonna be like $80.
Right, but at least the Super Battle Droid, they listen to the fans, and it's fan channel, and a lot of people were turned off by that B1 with the C-3PO without a B1 head, so they're giving us a B2 alone. So that's pretty great. Like you mentioned it's something we wanted for a long time, and for those who didn't give in to the other 2-pack, this is a treat.
Yeah, and we always knew this was coming. Like there wasn't a world where they weren't going to release a Super Battle Droid by itself. Like that's just. I'm surprised that they told us about it before the other one came out, so people can, if they want to, cancel it and just get this instead of both. And that's cool. They did that, but like we always knew they would do this.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's the same thing as, hey, pre-order this Mandalorian. Oh, guess what? It's in the pipeline. There's another one. It's like,
and for anyone complaining about exclusives, like, there's no reason to complain about fan channel. It's not hard to get fan channel. Fan channel is the easiest thing in the world. As long as unless you don't buy anything online, which I've met a couple people who are, and it's always a weird flex. We're like, oh, I only buy things in stores. I don't order things online. Like,
good luck.
That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. Fan channels might as well not even be exclusive. It just means you're not going to find it at Walmart or Target. Big whoop.
Right. Which is a good thing. Anything excite you here, Genghis, or what?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, once again, Super Battle Droid equals my recreations of Dreamcast Jedi Power Battles. Shout out to Mecha Grogu. Shout out to as many Mandos as possible. And yeah, we'll get that, Darth Gideon and Black Series in due time in TVC.
Nice. Nicely done. All right. So, a lot of immediately when this was done, a lot of folks were crying about everything happening, and even the number one maybe influencer dude, that is not Yak Face. I just thought that was a hilarious image to put next to Yak Face, but he said he has a lot of thoughts and he doesn't know how to sort this out, and he's torn. Is it time to let go? Well, I mean, the crazy thing about Yak Face is lately he's doing almost as much posting as Jason's Miscellany, Jedi Jaybird, and it's a lot of GIJoe stuff, which kind of brings us to our subject. I mean, I know Chaz, you started off. I mean, you look at your logo, right? It was all Star Wars, and now it's Joe time. It's Joe go. I mean, are you giving up like Yak Face too? I mean, we just talked to you about TVC, and you were like, "I'm buying everything." So, I want to talk to Chaz about this first. Like, how's your brain feeling? What's going on in your brain with the emergence of GIJoe Classified, but then kind of the maybe somewhat of the downfall of Black Series to an extent?
Yeah, I've been yeah, it's been a struggle, man. I've spent a lot of money on toys. and I recently just got those Marvel what is it? The Infinity Saga. I saw those at the store. I was like, "Oh my god, dude." And I was holding off, and then I got a coupon, so I bought I think 6 of the Iron Man, the 2 Iron Mans, the Thor and all that. So now I'm starting to dip in another line. So, but Black Series, I think, I still collect most of it. I think I stopped collecting all those gaming grades. I don't collect the carded ones, 6-inch anymore. So I'm just kind of pick and choosing the coolest ones that I like. I'm not like really jumping on things like I used to. Vintage collection though, I'll buy every card. So I'm always gonna collect all the card figures. So I'm all in on that. But yeah, with the emergence of Classified with so many figures, it's hard, man. It is hard.
66 last year, 66, and you're talking, unless you're getting some at Ross, but more than likely you didn't wait for Stalker and Tomax and Xamot, the main characters for Ross,
and
unless
troop
you're
building, dude,
just jumping into the line.
Yeah, troop building
unless you're
too. Yeah, so troop building too, man. I bought I bought Crimson Guards at full price. I bought a whole
Probably
bunch
all
of
bought 100
bats.
figures when it's all said and or 80 probably, right? With the
dude, I have probably over 10 Crimson Guards of the original ones. I probably have
then
6 of the retro ones. I have at least 10 bats. I probably have 25 Cobra Troopers and infantry. So I mean, it's a lot of money, man. So, but yeah, it's tough, dude, with all the stuff going out. But I've been noticing, like, in terms of like what I've been excited about has totally shifted to Classified from Black Series and TVC. So when I see something, when there's a stream, I'm like excited. I'm ready for the GIJoe stream. A Star Wars stream, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll catch it. So I actually caught it, I think it was after the fact. I said, "Oh yeah," it was like something like 9 o'clock, and I put it on so I could just
it's 8 o'clock for all of us, and Bobby, what is it? 10 o'clock for you. So it's really early in the morning to catch on during the week, if you're working and everything. So
and I used to like be right up, set my alarm to watch the stream live, and see exactly what's being revealed. And of late, I've been like, "Oh yeah, I'll catch it. I'll catch it when I catch it, or I'll catch it a couple hours later." Whereas GIJoe, I'm on there, man. I'm making sure the alarm's on. I'm gonna go watch that thing live. I'm screenshotting when they show new stuff. I mean, that's where the excitement is for me now.
Yeah. Well, before I move on, what's your score for the Fanstream Star Wars? Where you seemed good with TVC and okay with Black Series, but then it seemed like the vibe just going through the reveals, everyone was okay with this. Nobody was really like, we're more angry in the opener. How are we feeling about what they did on the Fanstream, Chaz? Was it enough for you?
Well, if I was a Black Series collector, I'd probably be pissed off because besides the droidica, I mean, I'm not really a clone person, so I mean, Mike really likes the new clone, so I didn't even order that one. But and the Thrawn, I mean, it's cool, it's all right. I'll probably get it just to match the other Ahsoka series figures that I have, right? But that's not coming out for a long time. So they really had like 3 reveals, and one of them's not coming out till 2025. So if I was a Black Series collector solely, I would be kind of pissed and kind of worried about, like, how are they don't have enough things to actually show, and one of the things they're showing is all the way into 2025, right? So,
Well, that tells me is that's all they can show, because I know we had Skeleton Crew that got pushed back, but it was originally coming out a lot earlier, and there was going to be there's going to be figures of it of stuff around there. So I have a feeling that there's just a lot of stuff they can't show us. Not that they don't have anything to show.
yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true.
When you obviously. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, as a TVC card collector, I was happy because they're showing a whole bunch of new cards, alternate cards, and stuff like that. So I'm happy with that. But there's people online, that just are just openers, and they weren't very happy because there really is a lot of reuse, repainting, not a lot of like real new sculpts. I don't think there was any except for Captain Rex. So a lot of the people that are openers weren't really happy with it. So I don't know. I'll probably give it like a 4. I'll probably give it like a 3.5.
Oh,
out of 5.
A 3.5
out of 5.
Yeah, that's a solid. It's not a bad grade. We've given the worst grades for Fanstream. So, Mike, your turn. What do you grade the Fanstream, and how's your overall feelings coming out of it?
I mean, I'd give it a B. It was fine. I'm starting to feel like they shouldn't do fan streams anymore. Like, if this had just been
wait, Hasbro or just Star Wars or Disney?
Maybe Hasbro, definitely Star Wars. It's one of those things, like, I feel this meeting could have just been an email, like they could have. They could have
an email when it was done. You got one, right? You got one from PR.
No, I don't get any of that stuff. The marketing people, I don't know if they hate me or whatever, but they don't send me jack shit. Right? Zach gets that stuff, yeah. But
Black Series.
Yeah, I just like I feel like when they do, hey, we're doing a big event. Even if they only say it like a day or two before, like this one, like this, they put this up 3 days before it happened. Like, it wasn't a long time, and I would definitely not say they hyped it up, but just doing it, people are going to hype themselves up, speculating about all the stuff that they want to see, and then that never meets those expectations. And I don't do shit. I don't know why I said we. They started doing it back during the pandemic because, they were trying to get people together, and they're all in different places. So I feel like if they're all going to stream it anyway, they might as well stream it. So they started doing the streams during the pandemic because they didn't do any before that. Like, that was the first time they started doing that. I feel like
jumping on the backs of what the video game companies did for that destroyed E3 was kind of like we can do like Nintendo and PS5 Direct, where we don't have to pay to go to conventions. They'll still do Comic-Con, and I guess to an extent New York Comic-Con in some secret room. But other than that, there's no Hasbro Con, there's no like official. So this is their way to connect to fans.
This is their way to do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe they should make it like once a quarter, or maybe only when they really can make it a thing. I think coming in and having they had like 10 real reveals in total, and 3 of them were Black Series. Like, it definitely could and probably should have been an email, because it just would have hyped people up less. Like if Hasbro had just said, hey, this is what we've got tomorrow, you can pre-order it, people would have been stoked. They'd have been like, oh man, I can't wait to get that Droideka. I can't wait to get another clone or whatever, because it wasn't something they built up. It was just like hey, here it is. But when you make it an event, people go, oh man, there's so much it could be. I can't wait. And they have that time to fester, and it just never works out. So I really think that they should just not do it anymore, because I feel like it only hurts more than it helps.
Right, but KJ, isn't hype? Isn't that look what we're doing now? Even if it's negative, and most of it wasn't negative, what we just talked about. It was fine. No, but listen, hear me out. We're hyped. Yeah. We're talking for 2 hours, hyping up their products. They're not giving us anything.
They're not giving us money.
A free damn figure from.
I love getting called a shill, because, like, really? How am I getting paid? Where do I collect my
Like,
check?
I like spent hours preparing this show. I'm on the show for hours. They're not giving me a cent.
I'm
This
not seeing
is
a
working
dime.
for Hasbro. We're
Yeah.
working for free right
Yep.
now. They're listening to this being like, why would we stop doing
Yeah.
fan streams?
Yeah.
Listen, look at all the we're not the only show that's covering
Sure.
this. You're getting
You're not
covered.
wrong.
Chaz all day on Instagram. Come on, bro. Like, this is the fan streams is what keeps the hype. It keeps them alive. KJ, do you agree? What's your take on this? And give me a fan stream score, too, please.
Hype is the mind killer. I will not succumb to hype when it comes to Star Wars. Hell, I was just rewatching. I have some of the OG remakes kind of stripped down from the special edition. I just love Star Wars. So I'll be there whenever the figs are there, whenever the playsets are there, when that Black Series, hell, even TVC Pod Racer comes out. I'll be there. Right. So hype doesn't work on someone like me. Like I'm just here. I'm just there. So, but I agree with what Mike said. It's like, yeah, you can just do the emails. I unsubscribe from those Pulse emails. I just, and just listening to Chaz is like, man, I'm right there with you. I overdid it, right? Like the Genghis Empire fell because it got overstretched, and that's basically what happened to my collection. So, like this year is like a regrouping year. It's a healing year, but I'm just opening shit up and just having fun. Like that's basically what this year is. It's going to be the fun year, and not just being like getting so much stuff I don't have time to play with it. And that definitely means Star Wars.
Well, you're bringing up a great point. By not even bringing up the point, you kind of did. Listen, we're all in love with GIJoe Classified, right? Without it, I mean, do we even want to do the damn show? But we love Star Wars too. And if they're only giving us 3 pre-orders for Black Series and one of them's not coming out till next summer, if we're still alive by then to see Thrawn, like that's a good thing. We're gonna get 40. We talked about this in the opener. We're getting 40 GIJoe Classified figures this year, probably more. The ones with the HasLabs too. Getting 40. It's okay to get 3. We'll probably get 10 or 20. Like, do you want 40 Black Series Star Wars? I know Mike Kaess does. I mean, maybe.
I'm not a completionist anymore.
Okay, good.
So it really depends on what they are.
When I was listening to your preview podcast, you said the prototype, white Boba Fett, the prototype Boba Fett, when they redid that, the reissue, got you out of the mural collecting. I was in this for mural collecting, and someone left a comment on our preview for the show and said, Black Series or Star Wars feels like a checklist where classified is like everything else. Just you're collecting Star Wars to check things off in a box. And so I'm thinking if you're only giving us 3 and we don't have to, we all feel like we're kind of somewhat cherry picking, not full in on mural. This is not a bad thing in a weird way, right?
I honestly could use a break from just in the last 4 months of last year. I think I bought 3 or 4 full main waves of figures. Between the 3 Ahsoka waves, the Book of Boba Fett wave, like it just felt like I got hit with a bunch of new figures. Like if we don't really get any new figures for the first half of this year, my bank account would be so happy.
Right. And you mean for Star Wars?
For Star Wars. For Star Wars. Yes, for Star Wars. For GIJoe, honestly, like I'm still excited. I am hitting the point where my shelf is saturated. Now I have to start picking and choosing. Like, is this real? Like I think Helix looked great, but I have no connection to that character, and my shelf is full. So I'm like, do I need to buy Helix right now? There's just a lot of things. I didn't get Mole Rat because again, not a character. No, I think she looks great. I just didn't. I don't have space. Same thing with Mole Rat. No space. Didn't get Mole Rat.
Well, that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
Can they share the same toy shelves too? And sometimes that means not getting all. Now, for most of us, it's not getting every Star Wars, but for some of us, it's not getting every GIJoe either. So you have to pick and choose. KJ, I just wanted a fan stream score for you.
3.75. It's not a bad thing just to only get Jordicas, only get retool clone troopers. It's like it just gives you some time. Just be choosy. Like and with TVC, the clearances worked. It got me into the line, and now I'm looking at what else I can do at this scale. I'm excited, and that's a good place to be. But yeah, for any more non-events out of these fan streams, and they might as well stop having them, brand for brand. Yeah.
But man, if we don't get any more GIJoe fan streams, I'm gonna be very sad. I'm like, what are we gonna just?
Yeah, you just make a big thing about the when they do an email. You're like, oh, we got a new email. Let's hype it up.
I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's the content we're talking about was in the email, but we don't get the present. But we fall in love with. You said maybe all of Hasbro, but people have fallen in love with the head of Marvel Legends and the heads of GIJoe.
I was gonna say they
really connect to those people where the Lucasfilm is kind of like we're getting the same people. They're nice people and whatever, but they're not like super. You could just tell it's a job. You know what I mean? Like you've got Emily on the Star Wars team and Eric, I would say, are both like really good fans, but what they're missing is someone that just has that like they have it. If you know what I mean, like they need someone that has that personality that draws you in. Patrick definitely wasn't it. Jing is fun. I love Emily on the TVC team to death. She's just a ball of energy and clearly a fan. Right.
And Eric's a little bit more subdued, but you can tell he still loves this stuff. But they need like just someone with a strong personality. Which if
they need a rock star, they need a rock star. Like they need a rock star. I mean, even Emily and Lenny,
both of them are rock stars.
Because, like for example, we have Miss Mellon, but she's not going to do it because it's just not worth the headache for her.
Yeah,
and you have people like that would be great, but they would be eviscerated.
Yeah,
basically, just by the toy community. So you really have to be armored up to engage with that community and really keep in mind the best that this community has and ignore the rest. That's a skill. That's a true skill.
I agree. I even the Transformers team has some good people on it. Like there's going to be on the 30th, there's going to be a Transformers thing, and then they talk about the new HasLab, which I've got the freaking Death Stars hanging out right here. So whatever it is, I might be in. Yeah, but you're right. You're absolutely right, and I will concede to you. The fan streams have connected me with the teams that make the stuff I like, and that is important to be able to like when
people put this way, people are buying the toys because they like the people working on them as well. Yeah. That's important. We never talk about that. We praise Lenny, we praise Dan and Ryan and Dwight, but maybe if we had some awful people at Marvel Legends, it would be fucked. People hate that fucking Ryan more than anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of how great the leaders of that team are.
Yep.
Oh fuck.
No, they would just leave Hasbro and just make knockoffs, third-party knockoffs, basically. That's what they would do.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get some whiskey scores. Spec's talking a lot in the chat. Let's get Spec going. We'll actually, you want to actually? I'll have you just talk about this. You were talking with Ray Paz on here. Let's bring this up. Do you guys think they're gonna go through the Joe line too quickly, and will they run out of old school figures to make from the old line? We talked about this on our last stream, but go ahead, Spec.
No, I don't think that they are. I mean, it kind of feels like it with the deluge of figures that we got at the end of the year last year, but clearly they're holding back. You know, they still haven't completed the original 13, which a lot of people are clamoring for. There's still a ton of sub teams. There's still characters, you know, they're jumping around a lot because now, you know, we're getting Metalhead and Big Boa and so they're jumping back and forth.
You can grab from Skybound comics now. You can they're grabbing from with John Warden. They're grabbing from the modern era line, which a lot of people don't know about. Like we got Shooter, we got Shadow Tracker, some of these. So like they're creating their own characters. Wolf Spider and
exactly.
Wolf Spider looks great.
What was that? Mole Rat. Right.
As long as the property is still selling. they'll still create. And if they
Yep.
somehow miraculously make it through all the existing figures and again still selling, they'll create new. But it's, you know, they have the movie lines properties aren't going to do as well, but you know, like I think it'd be cool to see some of the Renegades designs get classified treatment. Maybe Sigma 6, it wasn't really my jam. But the line is safe until sales slow down, and then that's when they'll either pivot, kill it, or change it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing to remember is like, what was last year? Last year was year 3, or it was like 2.5.
Yeah, it started in 2020. Yeah.
So 3 years is pretty long for a toy line in general. That's not Star Wars. That's not Marvel.
Well, think about the original GIJoe line. You know, started in 83. 3 years after that, like what was coming out? You know, like how fast did they move through those characters, and how much the line evolved?
So
So give us a score spec. Oh, God, spec. Sorry.
I was going to say, I think it's a safe line for now. Score for the Black Series stream.
Well, Star Wars stream
or the Star Wars stream. I only saw the Black Series portion because I was in a crew van.
We just went over it, so like you said, it's an email.
I mean, between the streams and everything else I've said in the past, all it does is bolster my decision to back off of Black Series.
So they're not doing enough with the emergence of classified. That's basically.
But I say that, and I say like I'm not going to buy the Bad Batch season 2, and then I buy Bad Batch season 2. But
they look so good though.
They do. They look great. They've replaced season 1 on my shelf, and they look fantastic. But I'm having issues with Black Series, and I don't think that it's the Black Series team's fault. And I think, aside from the fact that they don't have a Lenny Emily personality, you can just read in their faces that they are being beat down by Lucasfilm in terms of like what they can do, what they can't do, who they can release. What, you know, look at the change in articulation. We've gone from double G knee joints to single, and the way. Maybe this is a Black Series thing, maybe it's a Lucasfilm thing, but the way that they're implementing these new joints, in my opinion, for the most part, sucks, especially the knees. Like, look at Darth Malgus. Phenomenal figure, phenomenal sculpt. Then you get to the knees and you're just like, what the fuck is this? And I feel like it's kind of the same way with a couple of the other newer releases we've got. But there's some gems in there. Like I picked up Sabine from Ahsoka, great figure. I got Balin Skull. I know the complaints about him being too short. I think he looks great. My complaint with him is the fucking flaccid, rubbery lightsaber hilt.
The actual hilt, like mine's bending, but it's not the blade. It's the actual lightsaber.
Yeah. If you try and put it in his 2 hands, he does. This.
It just kind of goes. Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
I agree.
And if you go back and sorry, I was just gonna say, if you just go back and you look at Thrawn. And you look at like the joints on them and everything, they look like shit in my opinion. But
it's because they value sculpt over articulation.
Yeah, accuracy in depiction over articulation, which
it's based on a media property, not a media, like movies and TV and stuff like that, like media. So that's why they care.
The MCU, but the MCU has pinless double joints, and
I will say
what they're willing to pay.
Yeah,
I talked to Eric about this. The whole unglued knee on the new on the new Clone Troopers and on the Death Watch Mando. It was an accident. It was a factory accident that they didn't glue them, and they were like, "Oh, we like this better because now it's floating in between up and down." So they started just leaving them unglued. But if they hadn't had that accident,
because it hides that joint and makes
correct.
Yep.
Right. Okay, let's get Bobby's opinion on this, and then we'll address some of the comments. There's a bunch of comments on some of this, and then we'll close out our show getting deep into the topic of whether the brands can actually mix, not just on your shelf, but mix in a galaxy. But Bobby, go ahead, give us kind of your overall thoughts on the fan stream and your gigantic whiskey score.
Forgot I was on the show for a second.
Hey, all these guys want to have their, cake and eat it.
sorry.
No, good.
No, I
No, I'm
know
just
it's all right.
no, I
And
love it.
I
I think
can be a
Chaz fell
smart ass.
asleep.
I can be
he's
a
not
smart
even
ass
here
every now
anymore.
I can be a smart ass every
Not
now.
here.
No, great. My whiskey's a 2. The 2. And look, like I said at the beginning, like I'm not gonna bash them, but Mike's right. This could have been a Instagram like, hey, look what's dropping. Pre-order this. It could have been like a McFarlane drop. That's it. Like honestly, this was, and I like some of the TVC. I like the Jordan. This was a pointless fucking show. I'm gonna be honest here. It didn't need to happen. This was an email. This was the manager going, hey guys, I need to show why I'm being hired, why I'm making this money. So here we go. The reason, and I think, and this is not against the, like we've said, like kind of defending the Star Wars people. This isn't against them, and they don't have that like that Lenny, Emily, or Dwight, Dan, Ryan, personality. It's the fact that it's boring, and like I told you, Trav, like I've told you, Spec, KJ, Mike, like I told Lenny, those personalities, Lenny and Emily, brought me into GIJoe. They brought me onto characters. I didn't like. I knew them. I knew GIJoe. I liked, but like if you had told me in 2018, hey, in 5 years, you're gonna be getting Shockwave and Tripwire, and I'm like, who? Now like these are badass figures. Why? Because they did their job. They sold me on these figures by making them look bad.
Sold like a casual fan or non-fan and deep into the line. That's doing your job.
And you know me, I'm a Marvel dude. So Marvel Legends literally just go, here's Cyclops. I'm like, already pre-ordered, done. I don't give a shit. I already pre-ordered, right? But Star Wars, like I love Star Wars. I love.
We all do.
Star Wars. And the fact that I don't give 2 shits about these figures, like there is something fundamentally wrong there. That like my fucking like Revenge of the Jedi Darth Vader. I didn't need them going, look at this Vader. I'm like, yeah, that's badass. That's Vader. I'm gonna get that Vader. Pre-ordered it. Like but and it's not that like what I was talking before the show. Like I've seen that Ahsoka a few times at Walmart. I'm like there's something I don't know if I'm not connecting with that figure or what. I'm like, I got the Sabine, I got a Chopper, but there's something that I'm just like there was something fundamentally off with these figures. Case in point. So I haven't opened them yet, but like the Shin and the Balin, like
wait, so you have those, but you don't have an Ahsoka? Dude, I had to call you on those. Those are bad. Those I don't even have. Those are terrible figures.
I wasn't finished. Oh,
I know.
I pre-ordered these. Trav, there you go. I'm like, which one? Which Hollywood square am I pointing at? I pre-ordered these. When I got these in, buyer's remorse. There you go. Like I love Ray and Ray Stevens. That's what I think it would piss me off.
That makes sense to pre-order him because of the actor. Yeah.
Yeah. The face sculpt is missing something for me. Like that performance, top 5 Star Wars performance ever. Like it was amazing, right? The Shin isn't. They're not bad, but I'm not going like, holy shit, I need to open these. Like Buzzer, Ripper, like Cyclops, like I get them like boom, open. Like there is something fundamentally missing with these figures.
It's owning your own IP. Hasbro owns Transformers and GIJoe, so they have a whole playground.
Right.
And no corporate overlords. They
right,
do, but not like to that extent.
Right, and maybe it is Lucasfilm just like, tying, the Hasbro's teams like arms and legs behind them. Okay, you are limbless. Give us great figures in like a year. I don't know if that's what it is. But there is something just off. And maybe it's the fact that like the way I'm seeing the way that I'm still like clogging the pegs at my Walmart is Mando season 1, but like Din, like the civilian
Helmet
clothing,
one, yeah,
the helmet one, like Bill Burr, like they're still up there. I'm just like, for what we get with these figures and the price, and there's a bunch that get into all that. I get that. Like I've been going to Target, and my wife's like, "Don't buy any figures." I'm like, "Don't worry, I'm not buying anything. I'm not. I'm just like, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool." But I'm not like, "Oh my god, give it." I'm like, eh. And so I think with the stream, the reason I gave it a 2 is like, I never want to give a show, like this is absolute garbage. Like maybe like, if you catch me on a
I
bad
think the
day,
last time we covered Fanstream, you gave it a 1 or 1.5. And you're known as the 5 whiskey assassin. But when it comes to Star Wars, you're the 1 whiskey assassin.
And like, I'm so glad Patrick is gone, because he just looked like a robot with like, T800, like
good
like
morning.
Like, hello, it's like Chuck E. Cheese, like like, God, you are freaky. Stop talking and laughing. But like, I get. But if you're marketing, like if your job is to sell me on something, sell me on it.
But I think it's part of what Mike said. They're in marketing, but they're not like, they don't have the it factor. Like,
they don't.
You know what I mean? Like they don't have the rock star factor. Like they tried with Patrick, because he is kind of like a crazy.
He's animated. He's loud.
Animated dude, but it just didn't.
But
it's just too much of a corporate vibe with him, though. You know what I mean? Like a tool, kind of a.
He's my least favorite entertainment expression.
Well, no, like Mike said, like you need a rock star, right? You do. You need someone who can come and command stage, and that's fine. But there's a difference between being commanding and being just like goofy. Like you look at like Emily and Lenny, or like, case in point, Van Halen. Like Van Halen, Van Hagar, and then there's Van Halen 3, right? The extreme lead singer, okay? David Lee Roth commanded the fucking stage. Sammy Hagar commanded the fucking stage. Van Halen 3, I don't know what that is, right? And so and that was like 98, 99. That was like the extreme, great voice, just no presence. So you look at Star Wars, and Star Wars should be one of those flagship lines. It's fucking Star Wars, y'all. Like, this is like a galaxy far, far away, and now it's like the figure-wise of it. The show, movies. I'm still
let me take a point you're saying and ask Mike. Do you think Star Wars like is too evergreen for its own good? Is that even a thing, or is it just like evergreen for its own good with fans? Because it's Star Wars, like you said. Star Wars. We talked about it. Star Wars fans spend money. It's Star Wars. It's the number 1 IP out there for the most part. It's gonna sell no matter what. So they obviously they care, but how much do they care? How much can they care? Is it too evergreen for its own good?
I think we've never had this much Star Wars for this long before. If you look at the cycle of Star Wars, it's 77, 80, 83. You had a pretty good run of the movies, and there were toys there. And then you had what I call the dark times in between, like 85, because there's a little time for like that hype to kind of die down, 86, maybe 87. And into the 90s, where all we had were a bunch of really terrible books. And that was all we had at the time. And it was great because it was Star Wars, but looking back, I'm like, this is pretty bad. And the promise, the vague promise, because the internet wasn't a thing back then, of there's new movies coming out at some point. We're gonna get the first 3 at some point. And even in like 96 and 97, we're only 2-3 years away from episode 1 at that point, but it still felt like forever, because we weren't bombarded constantly with the latest updates from the latest stills and all the latest news, because they just didn't exist. We didn't have that luxury of always being connected to all the information all the time. So we were getting by just basically the hardest core fans, where it wasn't cool to like Star Wars, because at that point Star Wars was a 10-15-year-old movie trilogy, and the only thing that you had at that point were books, and only nerds like books and comics. And right, and then the sequel or the prequel trilogy happened, and that kind of reignited people. People were getting into Star Wars again, well, even a little bit from the sequel, the special editions, I mean, but like it kind of ramped up from like 97 to like 99 until like 2005 or so, and then I know there are a lot of revisionist people out there, but the prequels were not well received. You might like them now. You might have grown up. You might have been the right age for them. But for the people in their late 30s, 40s, the prequels did not do well. They just didn't.
Yes, I don't like them.
Right. And at some point, I liked them because they were Star Wars, but it was the joke, like, oh, the prequels were bad. It's just the original trilogy, whatever. But I still played Jedi Power Battles. I bought I was going to bring this up. I bought a yellow lightsaber blade for my Plo Koon because Plo Koon was my boy in Jedi Power Battles, So like we still liked it, but it was kind of getting back to the dark times a little bit where Star Wars was a big thing, but it wasn't popular. So it was kind of going back down again. Like we had the Clone Wars, but people saw that as like, oh, a little baby cartoon. Like it wasn't a big thing. Like, so more people didn't watch Clone Wars that did, so we didn't have a lot again. And then in 2015, 2014, even when the sequel trilogy started ramping up, Force Awakens, more stuff back into everyone's mind. So, and from 2015 until now, almost 10 years, we've had just a deluge. Anyway,
especially thanks to Baby Yoda, Grogu.
Yeah, and it's all just that, because and the difference is, before it was George Lucas, and he's only one guy, and he's writing them, and then he takes a break or whatever. He did his thing, and he steps back. But now Star Wars is that money making machine. We got to keep printing that money. We need that money. We need a new Star Wars content to make that money. So we've had nonstop Star Wars since 2015. Some good, some bad, some somewhere in the middle, but because of that, there wasn't that cool off period where people could step back and, you get the casual people that liked it, but like they move on to other stuff, and that's fine. If that's how people like, that's fine. You don't have to like something as much as you can all the time. People don't usually work like that.
Like, for instance, if you're at the weird thing, but if you're at, say, a gym, the store, a mall, whatever, and you're wearing a Star Wars shirt, no one, and I love all your Star Wars shirts. See, Baby Yoda. I mean, Boba Fett.
I'm wearing my plain work shirt.
right. I don't even know. It's like, is it Baby Yoda? Yeah. But look, you wear a Star Wars shirt, no one gives a fuck. You wear a GIJoe thing, like, that's cool. Because
that's awesome.
Like, GIJoe, right? It's like, God.
Because only, like, it's still obscure. It's obscure at this point.
I was gonna say, because I have the Mythosaur skull tattoo on my ankle.
There you go.
I do get comments at the gym every once in a while, and they'll look down, they'll be like, "Oh, dude, that's a rad tattoo." And that's gone back. I've had this tattoo for 26 years, and that's gone back 20 some odd years. Like every once in a blue moon, somebody will see my tattoo, and they'll just be like, "Oh, dude, that's
tattoos
cool."
Are cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the same as having a shirt. Like you're.
Yeah.
It's a shirt you can't take off.
Is it though?
No, I think Mike kind of hit on something real quick. Was the fact that like Black Series now kind of feels like the Force Awakens figures of the late 90s, where it's just everywhere and just on the pegs. And like, if you
are they, for how long did we have like just Lando and the dude and the couple dudes from freaking Mandalorian for like ever on the peg,
and they're still like, I still have them like the Force Awakens.
Right, they're still there, but but you're saying they're clogging the pegs. Black Series, they seem to go pretty quickly, at least from where I'm at.
Mine are just chilling.
In Texas, they're chilling.
Seemed
Don
to
Kelly.
hang on the pegs for a while.
Like, but I think again, it's. I think Mike hit a nerve when he, or like hit the nerve. I think he hit something when he said like we don't have that cool off period, and the fact that now like, oh, here's this battle, here's this droid from like episode 1 of Mandalorian where he's like, you see him like in this, like, I don't like, okay.
It's 25 years ago. Yeah, I get it. 24 years ago.
Like it's like it's like the droids are like not even like the cool droids, but like for Andor and is like the red droid is like, all right, that's cool, but I didn't like, I don't know, like I literally, this is coming from someone who just bought Chopper, but Chopper also has committed war crimes. You want that in plastic form.
That's my favorite part about Chopper. I love all his war crimes.
Like like if Chopper and R2 are just like the most like foul-mouthed cursing droids ever, while killing.
They have to bleep everything they say.
But that's the thing is, those characters hit with people, and they hit pretty hard. Andor, we've got 1 season of the show. The droid made it stand out. I'm at a loss for words because my brain is just mush right now. But like, it made its impression on people.
It did.
The rest of the figures, like, okay, like, what am I gonna do with a young Mon Mothma politician figure? What am I gonna do with this Blix figure that like she didn't have much to do in the series? Like, as like Lenny and Emily are talking about, they're talking about world building and storytelling, and you're taking these characters, and they have established stories from comics or whatever, but you can still repurpose them. And it's harder to do that with Star Wars, in my opinion. I mean, there are people that take it and they make it their own and do their own.
That's a fact. That's not even your opinion. That's a fact for sure. Because they can't play with everything. It's not.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you going to do?
Emily and Lenny now. Hold on. Emily and Lemily on the last stream were just like, well, they kind of like talked about this for 5 minutes. They kind of were very honest about this. They were like, we can do whatever we want. And it was like almost like, and they're nice people. And I mean, I met them and they're cool and they've been on our show, and I'm sure they're not mean, and they didn't mean to be mean-spirited, but they're kind of like bragging in a way, in a nice, fun, playful way. Like, we have this world there, you're just getting fans excited for it. You know what I mean? Like, we can tell the story. That's what they're saying.
Well, and look, some of these characters, like my mom during Ahsoka, she's like, who's the droid? I'm like, Chopper. She's like, I like Chopper. Like, my parents loved Chopper, right? Like, they found like it's the characters that really attach themselves to you, and it's just a lot of this stuff is just like, all right, I get the battle droids, I get the droid, like those are cool because you can army build them, but others it's just like, and I get Mike's case about like the clone trooper, but it's like after a certain point, it's just like the clone trooper over and over and over again. It's just Luke over and over and over again. It's just, and I get also the fact that people like maybe didn't jump in when we did, and like they have to like have a jump in point for other people. I get that.
There's all that.
I want to go to. Well, you got to make it quick because we got to go to the next segment. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's quick. I was just gonna say, like, it's exactly what you said, Bobby. And if they wanted to get me excited about Star Wars again, I want to see more aliens. I want to see Jabba the Hutt's henchmen.
Yes.
Like, if they had a wave of that, I'd buy the whole wave hands down. But they're not gonna.
Well, they can't because there's new stuff they have to keep making.
Right.
Because people like you guys are complaining that we're not getting toys of the things that we're watching, because if they keep, it's like a treadmill. There's new content all the time, and they have to keep up with it, and they can't go back and give us the weird shit from the original trilogy or the prequels because there's a new season of Mandalorian. There's Ahsoka. There's Skeleton Crew.
But they just gave
Andor.
it to all the TVC guys for the Meanwhile, like, we got Han in a trench coat for the 3rd time in 2 years. Like,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
all right. Look, I want to, on this topic, I just want to ask KJ and Chaz if they have any closing, because Genghis, you had a comment in there. If you want to just talk about that real quick, about the layering IPs and the cooling off, and then any closing thoughts on this subject, because I want to switch to whether these two universes can actually be a part of each other. But go ahead, good.
Well, just really quick, we saw like with the Marvels, like one of the lowest grossing film in the MCU, just because one, oversaturation, two, characters that a lot of the fans and audiences were unfamiliar with because they weren't keeping up with the content on Disney Plus. Secret Invasion, overspent their budget on, underseen. And so a lot of stuff is existing for its own sake. And that's never what Star Wars was. Just like what Mike said, it was a special blend from one person, George Lucas. And, you know, that's what you got. You went to In-N-Out. You didn't get tacos and chicken nuggets and everything else. You didn't get boba tea at In-N-Out. We have burgers, fries, and shakes. What do you want? That was Star Wars. And that was.
Are you calling Star Wars the new Cheesecake Factory?
I'm saying that
kinda. Honestly,
I'm calling Star Wars like the new Take 5, basically. So the Take 5 candy bars like pretzels, peanuts, raisins, yogurt chips, whatever. It's too much. You bite into it, you don't know what you're eating. And you can have Andor, you can have Mando, you can have Skeleton Crew, you can have New Jedi Order, you can have High Republic, not to the Old Republic, but you have to go slow. You have to go slow, and they each need their time and space to breathe and to have quality, to have something to say, and not just exist. And Marvel's the same way. Hell, live action Disney's the same way. It's like, man, I can't wait for that remake of Something Wicked this way comes. No one's saying that. You could do an awesome kick-ass remake of The Black Hole, but it has to come from a fan, and it has to be better than the original. That kind of thing. So it really has to be about quality over quantity, or it's all going to crater. It's all going to crater. And there's room for different spaces, different voices, different types of characters, different types of audiences to expand the brand. But if the quality isn't there, then it doesn't matter what new or different things you do to it, just for its own sake. It has to be deeper than that.
Gotcha. Well said. Chaz, so man, is Black Series doing enough to catch up with this emergence of classified, or are you cool with the slow crawl? I mean, I am personally, but
yeah,
I mean,
I think it's actually a good little break, because I was looking at, I actually stopped doing a lot of the pre-orders on Black Series because I was like, I couldn't keep up with it, and I figured, well, I'm not so excited as I am with classified. So classified stuff I want to get right away. Black Series, if I think it's going to be something that's going to sell out, I'll pre-order it. If not, I'll just kind of maybe just wait, see if I find it in the store, wait till it comes out. So I don't want to get confused on all my pre-orders. But I think what's going on with the Black Series, it's a couple things. I think the prices are going up, and you feel like you're getting less crap with your figures, right? Like, look at that. Morgan Elsbeth came with nothing.
Oh, God. We've talked about that a million times.
I mean, this is crazy, man. I think people just get tipped off at that, right? And then there's just so much reuse and repaints going on. And then they do weird things like those hologram figures are kind of lame. I mean, I don't know. The carbonized, and they're still pumping out a carbonized set here and there. Nobody wants it, but I don't know, man. I think it's all those factors coming in that kind of got the Black Series community collectors down, all that stuff. So for me, I don't mind a little bit of a slow pace because, man, I've been collecting so much stuff because so much stuff has been coming out, especially with GIJoe. So I'll take a little slower pace for now.
Right, and that's why I love. Like, I got my damn toys and Kyle Peterson for wrestling. I got my MCU collector. I got Boog for Marvel, and I got Mike, or Robo, whatever, for Black Series. It's like because classified, I'm all in. I'm buying all of them. So at least the other lines I can watch reviews, and then if they sell out like half of your top 10, Mike, then that's on me for not being a loyalist right away. So my whiskey grade 3 out of 5. It was fine. I pre-ordered all 3. So 3 whiskeys. So it was okay. And I'm okay with that, man. But there's a lot of work. Like we just talked about for 2.5 hours. There's a lot of work to be done. But I'm wondering, and that actually, Spec, you have one of these for me, or 2 you found for me. Thank you. 2. I can't wait. Something like this. Are you guys in the chat or even on the are you guys open-minded enough to throw this with your classified line? Like, to me, this
Yeah.
is
Why not?
it's right the fuck in. Bobby, go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. Spec got me one
Specs
of these.
shaking his head though. Spec.
Oh
Go
man,
ahead.
my food on the plate stays separate.
That's me too.
I have a
Greg.
feeling we're gonna have a lot of
Exactly.
nopes, but to me, I mean, I see a lot of people put was that hydro. KJ, help me out. The hydro
Stomper, the stomper. I got that.
Stomper. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that is with
That's
every
the only thing I put in
classified.
there.
Yeah.
What's the difference? These guys
Oh.
support that.
I mean, look, Travis. I mean, Spec got me one of these from Ross. I never saw them here, and I was trying to find them. I actually wanted this further classified. Like I put them with my Luke too if I can find some more. Right now I still have him on card because I've never seen him here in Houston. But this is 100% go with classified. It's one of those things where like you're a kid and look, Ashley gets will always make fun of me because I eat like the fries first, then the cheeseburger. I'm very like boom boom. I don't really like to mix and mash. But this could easily be a Cobra, robot. If I wasn't,
Well, it's green. I kind of like them for the Joes, in my opinion. But it does have the red mean eyes, so it could go either way. Or they could just be camo trooper, camo Cobra, jungle viper.
You're
mech or
you're
something,
5-6 years old again. You could be like a velociraptor humanoid inside that. Who gives a shit, right? Like just have fun with it. But that is me. But yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
play
I
with your
thought so.
toys the way you want to play with your toys. I'm not going to judge. I just don't like to mix my vegetables.
Yeah. And shout out to Leanne Hobbs. She said that she would mix them on. She said this on Facebook. She would mix them, but the scale is off. And then this Sabir, our friend here, says it be shorter than Tunnel Rat. Mike, is this shorter than Tunnel Rat?
I think honestly it
That's
might
Trooper.
be maybe the same size as
That's
Tunnel
why you put
Rat.
in the background.
Yeah.
This would be a great
Sure.
background character. Use an angle. That's what I did for Sergeant Slaughter from the Mattel Elite forever until they gave us a Sarge. So you got to play tricks. But are you okay mixing in your universes at all at any point in time? Or are you keeping them separate?
I don't on the shelf because I like to display things. I don't display them in like scenes. I just display them like these are my Transformers, these are my GIJoe, these are my Star Wars. But if I'm doing photography or whatever, sure. If I think something will be funny or interesting, like I'll mix them together. I really like. I've been doing the Cosmic Legion figures from Four Horsemen, and there's some cool looking aliens in there that I think work really well with Star Wars because like it's already kind of like that. So sure, just not on the on the shelf. It's separately, but like I don't mind playing with them.
Yeah, and I think I'm only cool with this because I met KJ, man. KJ is like super creative, world building, the custom world. We have a Terradrome show because of it, and it's like, man, mixing the worlds is okay, but what do you think, man? KJ, like, you with me on this or no?
Yeah. You can, if you're handy with the Tamiya spray paint or an airbrush, you can go either way. You can make these OD like Joe accelerator suits from Rise of Cobra if that's how deep you want to go, or they could just be different versions of bats, more Cobra drones. People were doing that with the Lightyear mandroids, that kind of stuff. There are no rules, so why put on rules?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think height's that big of a deal because like you can look at real people and like if you saw me next to my best friend Zach, he's like 7 feet tall and long blonde hair. You would think that we were from two different toy lines if we were toys, because people are just weirdly varied in height. Like there isn't like a normal height. Some people are just taller and bigger than others, and that's normal.
Yeah. Well, you got these Imperial, these ninja looking dudes too. The Imperial guards are the newer ones.
Sure.
So, yeah. So I mean, it could work if you wanted to.
I mean, you could You could make those like Red Ninja Elite or what. I mean, again, you could do all that. I'm
Elite
with
or-
Mike in the sense of I don't like to mix on my shelf, but like you've seen photography, I mix and match here and there, and especially if it's comedic, then all bets are off.
Yeah. Well, I
I'm
think
gonna
too,
have a hot
like
take here. I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like GI Joe
Ninjas and Joe. Yeah, yeah.
I don't.
So
I don't like Storm Shadow. I'm okay with, and like Snake Eyes, although I prefer Snake Eyes as a commando. But like all the Red Ninjas and all the like Ninja Force and whatever I don't like. I don't know, it's not my thing. But I'm not saying don't do it. It's just not my thing.
If you grew
Well, I
up in
think
the
too
80s,
with
hey, if you grew up in the 80s, you would love all the ninjas.
I
That's the
did
deal.
grow up in the 80s. I'm 41 years old.
Oh man, well,
oh, you're a young
you're
buck.
still young. You're still younger than me, man.
Your childhood
You're a
was
young
mostly in the 90s, though.
I was
Yeah.
born in 82.
Oh, so I don't know. I grew up. My teenage years were in the 80s. So
Yeah, so if you were an 80s kid, your teenage years was basically Super Nintendo, Genesis, but you still had garages, but we had modems. Like we sort
We
of
did
had
have dial-up modems.
worlds.
Yeah.
We were in between that. Like
Yep.
my older brother, my cousins, they're 70s kids. They're Gen Xers. Like,
but we grew up wearing ninja costumes, playing guns with ninja costumes. All the movies were all ninja, the octagon,
American
and all that
Ninja.
crap, American Ninja, all that, dude. So everything was ninja. So that's why when GIJoe came out with the Red Ninjas, I was all over that, man. So I'm all about the ninjas. So
Yeah.
Well,
I loved
here's
the
another
ninjas
thing
back
too.
then, but
Oh,
I'm
go
with
ahead.
Mike that I love the ninjas, but I can also live without the ninjas. Like, give me more of the military. I grew up in those same times and was all about Ninja Force and all that, but like you could trickle those out. Give me the other stuff first.
Right. Well, they also know if they just give you all those OG 13s, you're done. Like I think we had some comments earlier. Yeah, look at this. So our friend Ryan, I'm only collecting characters from 82 to 85. I'm almost done. So like if someone from Hasbro sees that, like, all right, well, Zap's not coming out till 2027 and Grand Slam, forget it. You're gonna have to wait a long time, because otherwise, yeah, they're done. I think that's what they're doing. They're doing a beautiful mix of all the different stages of GI Joe. So that's what works here. Kind of getting back to our topic though, is that Lenny is starting to bring back because right, Wave 1 was kind of Nerf video game. What was it? Operation what the hell, Blackout, something like that,
Yeah.
right? Is that the game? He's not afraid to go sci-fi with it now. So these could cohabit space on your collection more now than they ever could, because they kind of
Give us
made
Star
a full...
Brigade. Give us Star Brigade.
I think that was actually, I thought Ruben actually put that. Yeah, Ruben said that earlier before he went to bed. But yeah, he said Star Brigade. But yeah, you could do that. But what about, I was thinking about G.I. Joe and Star Wars together. Anybody ever watch Stargate?
Stargate.
The original movie,
Anybody?
yes. The TV series, I never really got into.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
same.
so I'm not a Stargate person, but when I was doing research on this, everything that came up for Joe meets Star Wars was Stargate. Is that the case? Is it like kind of basically if you were to mold those worlds?
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
So, and there's the video game that just came out. But yeah, I look at that and I'm like, man, that is like Star Wars and G.I. Joe mashed up. So it could, if you want to be, if you're into third party and custom, I think you're going to be more willing to go this way, right? Than if you're just buying what Hasbro's giving you, then you're probably going to keep it more separated. Thing. Battle Force 2002 is another one. But that's very much in the realm of what we're talking about here. No one wants to jump in, huh? Stargate? Just saying yep.
I mean,
movie was awesome. TV show.
But does it give you vibes of G.I. Joe and Star Wars MASH? Talk to me about it.
I mean, it's military that basically goes through a portal to another world, and you find out that the Egyptian civilization was really aliens that had come to Earth, and I
Then
don't
you can mix
remember.
Indiana Jones too, right? So now you can mix all
Yeah,
three.
mixes in some Indiana Jones. I mean, I think like what Mike was saying about those four horsemen aliens and everything. You absolutely could mix that stuff in with Star Wars because Star Wars is a vast universe, and they've only touched the brink of like what we could see in alien species and races, and so like that can just go on for forever. Whereas like GI Joe is more grounded in a sense, depending which continuity you follow. I mean, even if you go with the Cobra Law stuff, that's still Earth centric, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, again, like you could get like whatever you want to do, get nuts with your toys. Like I don't, it's your world. Do what you want with it.
For sure. Cool. So the answer is yes for most of us.
Yes.
Anyway. Cool. Sounds good. All right. And then Rogue One, that's like the closest thing we've gotten from Star Wars, right? I mean, as far as military sci-fi.
Yeah,
I mean,
Rogue One and Andor, I guess.
Yeah,
but not
that's
really
their
Andor.
military.
Andor is more like
Yeah.
a cyberpunky kind of
Yeah,
thing,
you're
in a way.
right. It's more
Yeah,
cyberpunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cool.
so
What
it turns out,
Yep.
Ryan Daly, he was spot on. Stargate straight up reused the Yaw Striker.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, they did.
That's funny.
Let me go to you, KJ.
This is
Cool.
a
Look at
Robin
that.
Hood reusing the Ewok village situation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
No, thanks for that, Ryan. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Good looking out. Who owns the Stargate toy license? Just make it part of GI Joe. That's funny.
Well, it's like when they made Street Fighter part of GI Joe.
And Mortal Kombat.
It was Hasbro.
Oh shit, they did that too. Yeah.
Yeah, Hasbro.
Oh, wait, let me-
They were behind Stargate. Yeah.
That would make sense why they used that mold because they owned it.
Yeah. And Hasbro was doing that. They were reusing GI Joe for Street Fighter the movie. There was like an abandoned Jurassic Park GI Joe line, right? Yeah, all that stuff.
There was the Dino Hunters or whatever it was.
Yeah.
All right, here, Patrick Picard in the house. What's up, man? Articulated points. He says most fun part of the Stargate Striker is the colors are a match for the Dino Hunters with spec set as well. Nice. Gotcha. All right. I think we've come to a conclusion here. We're all nearing 3 hours, but man, there's so many great. We got a couple comments I'll run. I think you guys addressed this in the chat. Is it known which brand has the next HasLab after Transformers? Because obviously we got that coming up right here next week. So who is after? Who's due?
Nerf.
It'll be
Patrick's
a Patrick
back.
blaster. Patrick will do a blaster just to like get back at him. Cool.
I think
All
it's
right,
I think
we
it's
got that.
Muppets. Muppets are next.
Someone said they run out of ideas if they made all the classified figures of OG line. No, because they're pulling from all. We talked about that. Plus the comic, and they're making their own characters. So
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. You said, Mike. You said HasLab could be Omega. Just kidding. Omega Prime from the O2 Robot in Disguise show, based on the hints. You want to talk about that for 1 minute so we can get out of
Oh, I mean, sure. They in the last couple of live streams they've dropped hints. Like they said, what I think at PulseCon they said it was going to be like an Omega level threat, and a lot of people are saying that the color gradient they chose on this is somewhat similar to the color gradient in Lightning that was present when Optimus and Ultra Magnus would combine to Omega Prime in the Robots in Disguise. So, I mean, I can see it. It'd be weird for the 40th anniversary to do a figure from not the original, but like, whatever, it's fine. Let's see.
Cool. Well, that's a good segue for next week. All right, let's get one more comment because it pertained to what we talked about. Universal overlap. I doubtful. Joes are humans on Earth, and Star Wars are alien species. So, well, Luke Skywalker is an alien. So,
I mean, technically, but
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah, I guess he is. So, yeah, I mean, but then again, we're getting aliens in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think. Oh, that's a work message. All right, never mind. All right, let's get out of here. And we got, here we go. All right, this Saturday, 1 o'clock. Gotta plug it. Plug the damn show. Welcome to the Terradrome. It's gonna be an amazing show. We got Murata Rubin, Ray Murphy, Tony, who wasn't with us tonight. Tony's Figs, he'll be there. We're showing off some amazing customs. All you guys are like, I only collect 82 to 90, whatever. We're showing all that stuff. Look, they even got the LERP team there. So it's going to be a lot of cool stuff. Man, these guys are amazing. This was the most fun I ever had putting slides together, was freaking seeing all these customs. It was amazing. So watch it Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. And then, dude, I got to plug your you had Robo on your show, man. That's big. Yeah. You want to just plug your podcast for those
Sure. You guys want to know a secret behind the scenes? Robo's a huge jerk, big diva. Like, had all kinds of stuff in his rider, like just needed, bowls with no green M&Ms, like all that bullshit. So he was just a constant. No, he's the nicest guy I've ever talked to. He's really, really cool. We had a lot of fun talking. I had like a vague thing of where I wanted the show to go, but when you're just talking to him about toys, it just kind of evolves into its own thing. Super nice. We probably could have gone longer if he hadn't had to have gone to pick up his kid from whatever was happening. So we had a good time listening to our podcast, Black Series Cantina. If you like Black Series stuff.
Yeah, I know, it's great. Mostly it's music or wrestling podcasts, and now I'm adding toy stuff to listen to when I'm driving around. So thanks so much.
We are the number one Black Series specific podcast on iTunes.
Awesome.
There's not really any others, but we're there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we're the number one unofficial GIJoe podcast, because we don't say we are or not. So anyway, look, Black Series Cantina on Instagram at Black Series Cantina. All the updates there for the show, and then of course your YouTube channel, man.
I do have it. I have a YouTube channel.
Go find it at my Kaess. Great year in review, man. It was awesome.
I should do another video.
Yeah, I know. I haven't done one in over a week. I'm like, what has come out? So, and then they could find you on IG at Trusty Sidekick. Here we go.
I like that. The stupid Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Thanks for being on the show, man. I really appreciate that. Chaz the Guru. Hey. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, thanks, man, for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. So he's the master meme, always going to keep you in the loop with toy news. Always keep Chaz the Guru on lock at Chaz the Guru. Hey, you should do a podcast since we can't see your face.
I thought about that, actually.
You should.
Be cool. I'd listen to it.
Does anybody think his avatar looks like Grogu dressed as a nun? Every time I see that, I just think it's a fucking nun.
There was a secret third option that Luke didn't give him, and that was to join the nunnery.
The convent.
The convent, yeah.
That's awesome. And then I had Dave Speck's toy thing here, but he said he wasn't going to be on this week. So we got a double dose of Black Genghis at Black Genghis on Instagram, Black Genghis on the YouTube. Thanks again, KJ, for joining us.
Well, my Instagram's right there under my name, so people can go.
There you go.
I decided to come annoy you for the night.
At Toy Optics. No, we appreciate that. And then go check us out. We just hit 2K. Let's add to it. A toy kind of mood on everything, especially TikTok. Is it at a toy kind of mood reviews on TikTok, or at a toy kind of mood on TikTok? Bobby,
that's a great question. Either way, you'll find it.
You'll find it. Okay, cool. So I run the IG. He runs the TikTok. It's at a toy kind of mood on Instagram, and at a toy kind of mood. Either reviews or not on TikTok. Go check that. He does unboxing reviews all the time. Man, this was awesome. We got to combine two of our favorite worlds, and we got all avenues. There's some heavy Jedi who love their Joe. So really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Thanks again, Mike and Chaz, for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you, guys. See you, Mike.
Pleasure.
Hell yeah. And we did all that in under 3 hours, bitch. So, all right, guys. It's midnight almost, right? In the East Coast. So, good night. We'll
All right,
see you
boys.
later in the
Thank you.
twirl and all that. Bye. I said bye on purpose because that's Mike's.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.